gonna say something.
Say it. Don't be scared.
No, I don't want you to get copyrighted. What was I been saying for that?
You know, it ain't like he said it. You. You sound like Gucci Mane.
I did.
You know.
I mean, don't in there, Carlo. Don't in there with your dad. You want anything before I leave?
Something to drink. I need a trash can by my side. Y'all hear that?
No, they don't.
Ain't nobody you know. Say nobody on here. You said good. Dang.
Now they can come. I said it. I said the magic words to bring thousands and millions and billions.
Now, if only 3 people show up tonight, lose your
No.
energy to stop them from showing up.
What?
Hey, shout out to y'all for coming through so far.
Exactly. Let me go get my likey like.
Hey, we on the second book of the Bible, Exodus. What's up, homie? Southside, San Diego, this bitch. Hey, shout out to San Diego.
Where you at? Where you at? You know, you proper person.
As y'all can see, we still listening to the Bible, but this ain't your average service. This ain't no Bible study, none of that.
If you sensitive, take your ass home.
Exactly. Shit, if you a Christian, religious, what I'm probably gonna say will hurt your feelings, but I'm only telling the truth. I'm not listening to the Bible to down talk on it, but I'm gonna just say my opinion. So, hey, lie. Genesis so far has been like nothing but murder, rape, fucking lying, deceit. So we're gonna see how Exodus is. Make sure y'all get this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. Alright, let's go.
Moses called Exodus, chapter 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Raamses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bond.
Alright, so if you was here yesterday, through the end of Genesis, found out that the Israelites sold basically to Pharaoh in Egypt because they didn't know how to fucking control or what is the word? It was a drought. It was a famine in Egypt, and everybody just kept running out of food. They didn't know how to portion until the famine ran out, so they ended up like giving all their land to the Pharaoh, like saying we'll work for you, like if you just make sure we eat. So now we in Exodus. It's a very different Pharaoh. Ain't no telling how many years the one passed between when Joseph was in Egypt and his family came to now fucking another Pharaoh, and he said, "Oh, it's too many of those Israelites. They're gonna outnumber us one day. Shit, they might flip on us." They was thinking negative, but at the same time, was he? Because God ended up coming with Moses and like causing mayhem for Egypt. So they probably was right, but I ain't gonna say it's right to enslave nobody. Like so, everything happens for a reason though.
In mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, When ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared God, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive.
Fucking Pharaoh
And the
already
king of
trying to
Egypt
murder
called for the midwives, and said unto them,
Israelites.
Why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, Every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. Chapter 2. And there went a man of the house of Levi,
That
and
motherfucker
took
just
to
like
wife
goddamn
a daughter
fucking
of
Hitler.
Levi. And the
No
woman
fucking reason at
conceived,
all. Hey, let's
and
get
bare
rid
a
of all
son.
these Hebrew
And when
boys.
she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3
Once
months.
again,
And when
that reminds me of mythology. How like Zeus, dad tried to get rid of all his kids because one day they was gonna overturn him. Like so, Pharaoh's like he had got some, I guess, some information from a prophet saying one of these Hebrew kids is gonna take over or something, because he want all the guys to get killed. He want all the babies, newborns to get killed. So fucking, he had probably got a prophecy saying like something was gonna happen. So he was just trying to take care of that issue before it happened. Just like I think before Jesus was born, like it was something going on in the town where they had to escape. Like so, they be trying to kill motherfuckers at an early age and it don't work. Like shit, be killing all the wrong ones. And the one that do get away is the one that motherfucking tear your ass up.
could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sisters stood afar off, to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's
Got the
side.
enemy in his
And when
own
she saw
house.
the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to
Somebody
fetch
took
it. And when she had opened it, she
Somebody took
saw
it
the
like that.
child, and behold,
Hey, I told people like don't think this don't be no regular Christian Sunday service or fucking Bible study. I'm like the complete opposite. Like so, you don't want to hear what I got to say. You might want to exit out now because this is not no fucking. I don't know. This ain't what you think it is.
the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and
You know how
said,
much
This is
guts
one
it
of
take
the...
for me to do what I'm doing? I know Christians are going to click on this video. I know they're going to think, oh, it's the Bible. But I didn't come here to fucking agree with this Bible. I mean, I didn't come here to agree with the book. Coming here to get an understanding. Like, why is this book controlling mankind the way it has? Why is, if you read Genesis like I read Genesis, why the thoughts didn't pop up in your head like they did mine. It's like, how is the Bible like, not once mentioning the word love, not once put a woman in a high position, not just in a high position, but not once talk highly of a woman in the Bible. Like all the women has been doing fucked up shit, all the humans been doing fucked up shit. Like so, I don't see how like women think this is like cool. Like I wouldn't even if I was a woman, I'd be trying to look for another religion like that's something that benefited me and like my beliefs. Like because right now this book is not about that. Damn motherfuckers killing babies and shit. Like goddamn, what the fuck? Why you record all the bad stuff? Literally, if this is supposed to be a religion for positiveness, like being saved and being like a good person, why is there no positivity going on in this book so far? There's nothing that's been mentioned that was positive. Because it sounds like it from the moment God created the heaven and the earth, and He put humans, Adam and Eve, on this bitch, they was been fucking up from the start. Like so, I don't know. Let's get back to the book.
Pharaoh's children. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, Because I drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw there was no man, he slew the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, Wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, Who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said,
He literally saved Buddy's life and then come back and you gonna kill me like you killed him? Like, golly, I was trying to look out for you. But yet, look how they treated him. You can't save them. If shit ain't got nothing to do with you, keep moving. You know, don't be trying to save any and everybody. Like, because you never know like why that person is going through what they're going through at that moment. You don't never know what type of karma a motherfucker got. Like, so you be trying to save a person and it's meant for them to go through that.
Surely this thing is known. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh, and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them, and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel their father, he said, How is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, And where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter.
Grew up in Pharaoh's household. What's up, dancers tonight? If Moses grew up like being seen as an Egyptian, because they see him as an Egyptian, how did he know he was Hebrew? Or was it the woman who was like feeding him, and like the Hebrew woman told him who he was? But even then, like he shouldn't have known. Like he should have just thought he was like an Egyptian. Like, but this is a book. I'm not gonna nitpick every little thing.
And he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in
Make
a
sure y'all give this
strange
video
land.
thumbs up if you
And
haven't
it came
already.
to pass in process of
Or should I say
time
you?
that the king of
Because
Egypt
5,
died,
6
and the
views,
children
4
of
likes,
Israel
2 people ain't
sighed
liked
by
it.
reason of the
Hit
bondage,
that like
and they
button
cried, and their
if you
cry came
can.
up unto God by reason of the
Really
bondage.
appreciate it.
And God heard their
Thank
groaning.
you.
God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. Chapter 3. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Moreover he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon
Dang, why
God.
he ain't say Joseph?
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them. Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent
Why
thee,
God don't never
when
do
thou
no shit
hast
like
brought.
that no more? Like, why he leave all that to the back, the old days? Why he don't pop up and burn in bushes and trees and talk to people? Like, why he stop doing that? Like, ain't none of us worthy of that? Like, who am I to do this? Moses was just scared though. That nigga ain't want to go. Pharaoh was about to kill him, so he like, man, I ain't trying to go back to Pharaoh after what I done did.
With the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and
If a random voice started talking to you and told you to serve me, would you serve me? Or would you serve it? Like, I'm like, you gotta show me something else. Like fucking just to burn the bush. I need to see some magic. Like, give me the power of Pharaoh. Something. Don't just tell me to go. He basically gave Moses orders and said, hey, do this. You don't even know who I am. Just do it. You serve me now. Hey, matter of fact, take your shoes off before you step on my floor, bitch. Like, that's how he was treating Moses. Like a fucking bitch. And Moses was like, okay. But he got some shit accomplished, so you just need one willing and faithful servant, right?
say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me
Make
unto
sure you hit
you,
that like
and
button
they
if you
shall
haven't
say to
already.
me,
Really
What is
appreciate it.
his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am, hath sent me unto you. And God said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, The Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, The Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt unto the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall hearken to thy voice. And thou
Motherfuckers never
shalt
made it.
come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt.
God told them he was going to take them to milk and honey, and they never made it. The only thing they got was like the manna from the sky. Like, but he led them out. That's why they started rebelling. And they were like, man, we should have just stayed in Egypt if we were going to go through this. But yet y'all was the one who was praying and asking to be delivered. Like, make up your fucking mind. No,
You
I'm
shall
going ahead of the
say
story.
unto him, The Lord God of the Hebrews hath met with us. And now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go, no, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders which I will do in the midst thereof. And
He
after
just trying to
that
show off.
he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty, but every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and of her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment, and ye shall put them upon your sons, and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians. Chapter 4. And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, The Lord hath not appeared unto thee. And the Lord said unto him, What is that in thine hand? And he said, A rod.
Why God didn't just go to Pharaoh, like almighty, all power, and say, hey, let him go. Free him. Because he been going to other people in dreams, popping up in dreams. Why he didn't just go to that Pharaoh and say, hey, free my people? Or there's consequences. He sent a man. Why send a man to do why send a boy to do a man's job? Like, so God be using middlemen for whatever reason when he could just take care of it himself.
And he said, Cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said unto Moses, Put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other
bosom? What is he putting in his bosom? What is his bosom? Like somebody who know what a bosom is. What is they talking about? Because you can't pluck your hand out your man area. Like, was he putting his hand up his ass and getting leprosy? I don't know.
And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the
Jasmine Britton,
first
shout out
sign,
to you for
but
coming
they will
through.
believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall
I don't
come to
know if you
pass, if they will not believe
I don't know
also.
if you subscribe from like just me being like posting Nipsey and like hip hop shorts. I don't know if you clicked on the video because you seen this was the Bible. I don't know if you.
Oh,
Oh, it's boobs. He ain't got no boobs though.
chest
How you gonna pluck it out your pluck it out?
What do you do?
He said he plucked it out his bosom, and then the leprosy was gone.
Yeah.
Plucked it out. Plucked it out of
Plucked
what?
it out. Your head plucked out his chest. You plucked it out. You never heard an old person say, bosom? Like bosom? You never heard an old person say that?
No,
Yeah.
I was raised by old people.
Yeah, that's bosom.
Well, what if they got the term wrong?
Hey, all the old folks I grew up with that.
They are wrong if they be putting like they beliefs on other people. Oh, you just see me on Facebook. Oh, shout out to you for coming through. Like, seeing me on Facebook.
I think you be like, oh, you don't put your money in your bosoms. Don't do that. Put your money.
Well, I'm a man, so I ain't never did that.
So that's how I know. Okay, baby, I'm back. I'm back.
Hey, shout out to the 219. Like, so, like Gary, Indiana. Well, I'm not for sure he's exactly from Gary, but 219 area. And shout out back home. But yeah, this is you caught me on the day where I'm listening to the Bible and I'm just trying to decode it like for myself. Most people read the Bible when they in church and it's because the pastor is telling them to read a verse and he's giving them the service off it. Like he's giving basically his own opinion of what it means to him. Like so I'm listening to it for myself. So it ain't you may not hear what you think you're gonna hear. Like but I'm gonna just be myself, continue to be open. Like, thank you for coming through, Jasmine. Like, definitely thank you for that subscription. But this positive mind's only for a reason. Like, I'm not gonna believe. I'm not gonna always say what the world wants me to say. I'm never gonna say what the world wants me to say. But most of all, the world not gonna usually agree with what I gotta say. So. I hope you're not too sensitive about religious topics, but I don't think so. Hey, if you came from Facebook, then yeah, you probably know how I am.
Two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river, and pour it upon the dry land. And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. And the Lord said
Moses
unto
got
him,
hella
Who
excuses
hath
why he
made
can't do it.
man's mouth?
Literally, God just showed him a snake turn into a rod, and yet he still don't got the faith. I mean, if I just came across a burning bush myself too, and like a voice talking to me and saying, first of all, take your shoes off before you come talk to me, and then, hey, do what I tell you. Oh yeah, and like follow me. Like I'd be like, that ain't part of my like mission. I ain't come here to do that. Like I was just walking by, and you stopped me. Like why you ain't find somebody else to do it? So I'd have been coming up with a bunch of excuses too, especially if I ain't have no thoughts on doing it. And you want him to go back to Egypt where he just ran away from murdering somebody? Like so. I've been meaning to sit down and read the Bible. It's cool to have someone to do that with. Oh, for sure. So you may get your own understanding when you hear these words. Like we just listened to Genesis the past 3 days, and like I learned some things that I never knew, like just by rereading it for myself as a conscious person now. And so I didn't know the Israelites sold their rights and their souls to Pharaoh because they didn't know how to maintain their own food. So it goes back to like just how people sell their soul for like money, fame, success, things they don't have. In the end, like It's not really what you want. It's not really what you need. I mean, of course they need the food, but they didn't need to do what they did, knowing they had their brother Joseph, who's like damn near king of Egypt. They went to Pharaoh and sold their rights. So, but that was another thing how the Israelites sold their rights to Pharaoh. Their dad's brother Esau sold his rights to his little brother Jacob. Like so, within this family, this generation, it must be a generational curse already where they don't care nothing about their life, like literally, or the chest of emotions. The chest of emotions, is that the bosom? Oh, so he put his hand in his chest on leprosy. But, I guess.
Or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. And he said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I
Oh,
know that
God
he
was
can
mad
speak
at
well, and
Moses for saying, "Oh, I can't talk. I can't speak well." Why does God get angry? I didn't know. Yeah, like that was the end of Genesis when we listened to it. Like, and I know God is like he kind of like a man. The way they describe him, how he gets angry, like how he like forget. He's very forgetful. Like it said, these words are said in the Bible. Like dang, it sound like a dude. Like, why you regret creating mankind? You're supposed to be the all. Like, you should have erased Adam and Eve and then started over. Why you let them have Cain and Abel and then Cain kill Abel and then you still let him live? Matter of fact, you said anybody who touches Cain, they get 7 times what they did. Like, so the way he operates in the Bible is like, dang, he really egotistical, like from my perspective. And I'm just a human. Who am I to say what this higher being? But me, I also know, like just with my studying in life and my experience through life, there isn't just one God. Like most people think it's just one God, but why you think it's like they got all those different religions? Everybody got their own belief. Everybody got their own God. Like so, I've studied a few of them myself, like so, I understand like this God in his Bible, he's just telling his perspective. Just like how I will read about Zeus, Hercules, Poseidon, Ares, Apollo. They got their own story. Just like I read about Isis, Ra, like, and they all technically like the same people. They just got their own, like, basically, like, different names. It's just kind of like reincarnation in, like, me. Like I said, I've been reincarnated for a minute, like, at least 18 times. So I've been Egyptian, I've been Roman, I've been French, I've been Chinese, I've been a slave, I've been a king, I've been a pharaoh, I've been a musician, I've been everything, basically. So it's basically how each culture has their own god, and it's basically the same. It's like it's copied after each other, but it's the same. Probably people reincarnating in the same places and doing the same shit. Born again daily. What's up? What's up? Once again, coming through. So I'll be talking about like just different things that I noticed for myself. Like, cause when I was in church, I used to be a Christian. When I was in church, it wasn't my choice to be a Christian. I was born, and my family was like, "This is your beliefs. Everything else, don't pay it. Don't listen to that. Don't. It's wrong." So I never really got my own like understanding of like, okay, what they believe in. Why you telling me that shit wrong? How you know yours is right? Huh? Especially how I was raised and my family was. I'm like, y'all can't like this can't be the right religion because y'all fucking wrong. Y'all doing that shit wrong. Go to church every Sunday, but sin like a motherfucker. Like, so I was having these thoughts as a kid. So as I got older and I got the courage enough to like stop like letting certain things hold me back, as in like the fear of death and the fear of going hell. Like once I got over that, I was able to like question a lot of things, and like I got a lot of answers in the process. So that's how I know like the God in this Bible ain't the only God. He's a younger version of all like the other ones that's been around for that predates him at least 25,000 years. Like so, but he got power. Like the way he's operating in the Bible, he's very strategic, and all guys are. Like so, the way he doing it ain't really different. But he's more hands on with humans basically. So that's what I'm like picking up. I look at the Bible just like I look at any other mythology, honestly, because these stories, they can't be real. Like these, half the stories in this Bible, why the same shit don't go on today? If everything on this earth repeats itself, why do the things in the Bible, like Jonah being swallowed by a whale for 3 days and living, like, why ain't that shit happen again? Why haven't I seen another man walk on water like Jesus? Like, why haven't I seen certain things repeat? Like, yes, it's things that come true from what the Bible says, but we all know you speak things into existence. You write things into existence. I can say something today, right now, and it'll come true tomorrow. Like, so what does that mean? I could write a book myself and I can have millions of people following it and they call me God. Like, so can I do that? Or, like, maybe not today, but thousands of years later, I can write a book detailing the instructions on how to live on this earth. Like, and who says the Bible gonna be around that long again after that? Like, after I live my life, like, and after I decode it, like, so, but not saying I'm gonna do that. Just saying, like, I be thinking about shit like that. So, I'm listening. We gonna play the book and continue. I'm trying not to keep pausing it, but people like that. Sometimes people don't just want to hear the Bible like just straight through. Like that shit get boring. Not just the Bible, but any book. It'd be boring. Just hey, shout out to Tasha. Definitely hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. But it'd be boring just listening to books sometimes and like for hours or just reading a book for hours. You damn it, I fell asleep on hella books. Like just not having nobody to talk to, just reading on. So I'm like, fuck it, let me just create my own book club because that's what this is about. This ain't about just the Bible. Like this is just one book. I mean, it's just a long ass book. But we done read Think and Grow Rich, The Celestine Prophecy, The Alchemist, The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Outwitting the Devil. That's one of my favorite ones. Like Outwitting the Devil, like that's one people need to just like re-listen to until they get it in their head. There is no fucking devil that's making you do wrong. It's your negative thoughts and habits. Like so.
So behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when
Exactly,
he
all far.
seeth
It's
thee,
some of them
he
that
will be
like was
glad in
sleepers
his
though. Like
heart.
God would have fell asleep on
And
that
thou
shit.
shalt speak unto him,
But
and put words in
overall,
his
like the ones
mouth,
that I
and
named,
I
like
will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of God. And thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. And Moses went and returned to Jethro his father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, Go in peace. And the Lord said unto Moses in Midian, Go, return unto Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. And Moses took his wife and his sons,
damn,
and
God
set
killed
them upon
everybody
an
who
ass, and
had
he
son
returned to the
who
land
wanted
of
to kill.
Egypt. And Moses took the rod of God in his hand. And the Lord said unto Moses, When thou
What
goest
else
to
I learned
return
about
into
this God?
Egypt,
If you are faithful to Him, if you are loyal to Him, like, and I don't, when I mean loyal, is like a lot of people ain't loyal. Christians, a lot of them ain't loyal. Like, they don't really follow the path of righteousness. They don't follow what Jesus said do. Like, so a lot of That's why probably God can't trust a lot of these can't trust nobody to come down here, because a lot of people got a lot of secrets that they like to hide, and they think ain't nobody gonna find them out. But all secrets come to light. All what's done in the dark comes to the light. And I don't know why they said that, but somebody in here you need to hear it. So
See that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not
that
let
was
the...
a big thing. What he just said. Did y'all hear him? Hear him when he said, "I went through the question thing." Exactly. He don't want you to just be a fucking follower. He wants you to fucking question him so he can understand. He don't want no dumbass. But what God just did right there, he told Moses, I'm gonna harden Pharaoh's heart. Why? Why you ain't just send Moses to Egypt, tell him let my people go, and they be let go? Why did God have to harden Pharaoh's heart? Why do you do that? Because he wanted to show his power, like he want to flex. He just really showing you like he can control anybody, any human. Ain't nobody safe from like God in the Bible. Like, and then there's nobody safe from any God, honestly. But there has been like stories in like not Egyptian, but Greek mythology where humans have outsmarted like gods. Like, and that's what I love about Greek mythology, because Egyptian mythology, it ain't about like humans. It's all gods. This Bible is only one God. Greek mythology is gods, and they dealing with humans, and some humans have outsmarted those gods, and those gods is like assholes, so they done fucked up the person's life if they made them look like a jackass. So I always loved more of Greek mythology more than any other one. That was the one that made more sense to me. They was coming down and having sex with humans. That's why you got demigods, like people like Hercules and shit. And like shit, they made mistakes too. They wasn't perfect. Like it showed like just because Zeus was almighty, he made hella mistakes. Like he did hella fucked up shit. But who was there to judge him? Nobody, because he was a god. He killed he destroyed his dad. Like so, there was nothing above him. So that's why that's where you gotta get mentally to the mindset like, ain't nothing gonna stop me. Who gonna stop me? Who gonna judge me in my life when I'm trying to get to where I'm going? Nothing can stop me. Like literally, I'm gonna get to where I'm headed no matter what. I'm gonna accomplish my goals no matter what. You can't stop me. Like literally, there's nothing above me, behind me, nobody in front of me that can stop me to getting to what I want in life. So that's how the gods think, and that's how they feel. And one thing about them, like time is irrelevant because they live forever. Like so, I understand your soul and your spirit live forever too. You probably don't know it, but yeah, you do. And your flesh just dies. That's what reincarnation is like. When your one flesh starts to get old, or like when you fuck up and got karma, and you die young. Like when you come back, like it's like getting a refresh start. But the fucked up part about it is you gotta relearn how to talk, relearn how to walk, all this bullshit. Then we in a world where you're getting programmed from parents who don't know no better, schools who not teaching the right things, churches not teaching the right thing. TV is definitely fucking programming people in a fucked up way. The music is bad. Like you coming back in a world like that's wants you to fail. Like so, unless you got parents that's conscious and like or super rich and wealthy, and they know like not to let their kids get brainwashed, you fucked. So, me, I understand that, and I'm not about to fucking keep reincarnating on this fucking planet knowing that. So, I'm doing my job, and that's what it's about: doing the job you came here to do, and evolving it spiritually. If you're not doing that, it don't matter how much money you make, how much money you get. It don't matter how many possessions, material items you have. If you don't evolve spiritually, none of that shit matters. So,
Go, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve.
Did y'all hear what he said? He said Israel is his firstborn, not Adam and Eve. Like, why he? What was the meaning of saying like Israel is his firstborn? And we know Israel is Jacob. That was Joseph's son. So I mean Joseph's dad. But why did he call Israel his first son and not Abraham or Adam? So is Jesus not his only begotten son? I don't know. I'll probably just be overthinking certain things. Like, I don't know. I just that, but that's always been me. Like, so if you gonna write some, if you say this is the book, it should have no mistakes. It should have nothing that makes me question what you saying is the absolute right thing. Like, so that's how I always felt like it had holes in the story. Like that things didn't add up.
And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it came to pass by the way in the inn, that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son, and cast it at his feet, and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art, because of the circumcision. And the Lord said to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of God, and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord, who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spoke all the words which the Lord had spoken unto Moses, and did this.
And it's usually like just one person around when God talking to somebody. He don't ever talk to like a group of people together. Why is that the case? Like, why are you telling this person this person do that, this person do that? Like, why you can't get them together? Like, so once you got more people together, you can accomplish the goal at a quicker, faster pace. Like, and like you just building more like building a bigger, better foundation. You want to go outside? My dog be scratching at the door. They're trying to come back.
Signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed, and when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped. Chapter 5. And afterward Moses and Aaron went in, and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
The Prince of Egypt was one of my favorite movies.
Who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go?
Once again,
I am not the Lord.
Once again, if God is in the Bible, God Almighty, He created all. Why don't Pharaoh know who He is? Like, if you created all, everyone, like, once again, the Bible, once I'm born, Pharaoh should have known who God was, if that's the creator of all. But he didn't create the Egyptians. That's why he had so much beef with the he had so much beef with the Egyptians and the other people, because he didn't create them people. Like, so, he wanted control over them. He wanted to, like, show off who he was, like, to show his real power. Because they guys wasn't operating like he was. So, why? Like I said, if God is the creator of all, like, Pharaoh should have never even questioned him at the beginning. Like, he would have never said, like, I ain't never heard of you.
Neither will I let Israel go. And they said, the God of the Hebrews hath met with us, Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the
And they
sword.
saying our
And the
God. They
king
not
of
saying the
Egypt
God
said
of
unto
all.
them,
Like literally,
Wherefore
he's
do
only
ye,
the God
Moses
of
and
the
Aaron?
Hebrews. He's literally not the God of white people. What's up, Mr. Motivator? He's not God of Chinese people. He's God of the Hebrew Israelites. And black people consider themselves the Hebrew Israelite. I don't. But there's a group of black people, Nation of Islam, and then a few other, I can't name their names, but they believe they're the chosen ones. I never like subscribed to the Bible and to these beliefs. So I'm like, yeah, y'all can believe that, but that's not what I believe. I believe this just is another thing to control people. Like, so I'm like, but people really believe it. Like, just like they really believe in Egyptian mythology, it's people who really believe that's real. I mean, like, it could be, but I look at it all as mythology. Like, it could happen, it could be true, could not be. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's saying they created shit. I don't know who the fuck created this. I know it's been created though. So I'm just getting my opinion on this guy. And he still haven't told us his name. He said, I am that I am. He ain't really saying who he is though. What's your real name? Was you born name I am that I am? Who created you? That's what I always used to always want to know. Like, who created God? Never got that answer. Like, but I understand like just how this all formed. And science would say it all formed like over time through evolution. Let me close my door. But science would say it formed through the Big Bang theory. So I I ain't gonna say I truly studied what the scientists say, but I have like dabbled into it. Christianity is the only real thing that I really like studied over time because, like I said, I was born into it. Like my family's like, "Hey, this is your set of beliefs. Don't you question it." Like so, or you'll go to hell. Like so, until I got over that like fairy tale of hell was real, just like Santa Claus is fake and the Easter Bunny was fake. Like once I got over those fucking fake ass imagination stories, I started living my own. So now I'm coming back to see what it like say from a conscious person's, not just conscious person, but from my perspective as a conscious person on my journey. Because I first read it as a kid. Then when I went into the military, I got sick, had pneumonia, was almost dead in boot camp in San Diego. I started reading the Bible every single day, like, and it got me through that. And then, like, once I got out the military, I was going to this small church with my ex-wife. It was like a cult, like Southern church, and like I didn't fit in. Like it just never fit in. Like then I had to leave. I left. I went back home to Gary. Then came to Vegas. Me and my wife today. That's when I woke up. That's when I like all the questions that I had as a child, just growing up, that I had to conceal because I didn't want to ask my grandma and Gigi. I knew they would have beat my ass if I questioned who created God, or like question half the things I say now. Like that was a no go. Like so, once I got to this position in life, I'm like, oh, I can ask these questions without getting in trouble, like without seeming like I'm blasphemous against Jesus, because that was another big thing that scared me. Like, was I didn't want to be blaspheming against Jesus, like thinking like, oh, he wasn't real, because that was my whole thing. Like, I'm not for sure if he's real, but I don't want to go to hell for not believing. Like, so at a young age, like I was trying to get saved. I was trying to get baptized because I'm like, man, if this the right thing, y'all saying this right, I'm gonna do it. Like, and I was gonna like dedicate my life to it too. But then, like as I got older, and I just started, everything just started building up. All those little questions as a child, and all them, like I'm like, something ain't right. Something is not right. But now I understand. Like now I get it. I don't even have to read the rest of the Bible to understand. Like just who God is, like, and why he do the things. I don't have to question him no more. I know who he is. That's the whole thing. I had to find out who God was for myself. And in the first book of Genesis, he revealed himself to me. Like, and not that he needed to reveal himself, but like just overall, I never knew who God was. Like, even as a Christian, I didn't know God. I didn't know Jesus. And now, like, today or just this past week, and I've been listening to the Bible, I'm like, oh shit, I finally figured it out. Like, finally figured it out. So, like I said, if you're loyal to him, he will bless you. He will bless you. He will let your name live forever. We all know who Abraham is. Like, we all know who Jacob and like these people are. Like, so if you follow his path, he will bless you. But he will test you as well. So, and if you fail, he don't like to give you second chances. That's what I learned. He don't get second chances. So that's why he don't fuck with a lot of people. That's why he ain't talking to people like that. Because he know people ain't loyal no more. Like, and me not being a Christian, like, I could have a conversation with God now. Like, at first I used to pray to God, like, thinking, like, no wonder my prayers wasn't getting answered. Like, because I didn't really know God. I was just begging for some shit. Like, I would just like, thought that's what I was supposed to do. Now I can really have a conversation with God and, like, probably get what I want out of him because, like, I believe in him now. I truly believe in God now. Like, just like I believe in Zeus, Hades, Hercules, Poseidon, fucking Ra, Hathor, Bass, fucking Shango, Arun Mila, like, oh yeah, like, it's so many fucking gods out there, bruh. I believe in them all. I believe in every single religion there is. Like, what the fuck? If it work, it work. If it don't, I don't gotta worry about it. Like, shit. But my beliefs is, like, not to be following nobody. I'm not about to follow nobody but my true soul's mission. Like, what I know what I came here to do. Like, so there's nothing on the outside of me that can guide me where I'm going. Like, because that's not how it works. Like, this God may seem like he's coming from the outside, but that's not how it works. Why ain't people hearing with God? So why it ain't more miracles? Why isn't there more good things happening in the world if this world was full of God? If God would, like, because that's not how it works. He been operating off destruction from the beginning. Like, he been fucking shit up from the beginning. So, like, people think God is, oh, loving and caring. No. If you fuck up, he would destroy this shit. Like, so I got that understanding. Like, he's not to be fucked with. For real.
The people from their works get you unto your burdens. And Pharaoh said, Behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, Ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. And the tale of the bricks which they did make heretofore ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, Let us go and sacrifice to our God. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words.
You know what it is? Why this one is way more believable? Because Egyptian mythology, it don't really got a book like the Bible. Egyptian mythology don't really have a book, like a book to read like the Bible. Like, so it's easy, like, it's everywhere. Why? There's Bibles everywhere, free. Literally in your hotels, in church, like in your house, like literally you can get a Bible. Like, it's to control you, baby. Like, it's a control thing. Like, literally, it's a control thing. And I want to know who's printing the Bible. Like, who getting paid off these Bibles being everywhere? Because you know it's not free. Like, so I need to create my own Bible. Okay.
And the taskmasters of the people went out and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, Thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye, get your straw where ye can find it. yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, Fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded.
God hardened Pharaoh's heart, and then Pharaoh made them fucking work extra hard, made them do impossible shit. Like, you see, the taskmaster is making them do shit. Like, if it was Moses never had came and said nothing, Pharaoh wouldn't even been bothering. But once God was like, "Hey, let my people go. Like, I'm the true God," and they were like, "What? Who the fuck is Moses? The fuck? Ain't you the one who ran away?" Like, God, like I said, if He was the creator of everybody, but we know He's not, because like I said, the Egyptians don't know who He is, but this Pharaoh don't know who he is. The Pharaohs before him, they had and Joseph. So, but they dead and gone. Like, so this is a new age. This generations later, Hebrews have turned into slaves. At first, they sold their rights to Pharaoh, probably 100 years before, because they no telling between Genesis and Exodus how many years apart. But in the end of Genesis, they sold their land and all that to Pharaoh to live, to survive. And when Exodus started, Pharaoh was like, damn, these people done got super big. Like, there's too many of them. Like, we got to start, killing off these babies, because they'd take over us. Like, if it was a war, they'd side with the other people. Like, that's what they thinking. So they made them slaves. Like, so, now Moses is here, like, he said, "Hey, let us go." And guess what? It was never even a war between, the Hebrew Israelites and Egyptians. It was like a beef God had, with them. Probably because they made them slaves. But at the same time, these are the same Hebrew Israelites that sold their own brother into slavery, which is who Joseph with the dream cup. They sold him into slavery. One of the dad, his brother, he stole his brother's blessing from their dad. So it's been a whole lot of fuckery within this whole family. So honestly, these is I ain't gonna say they should have been slaves, but what they would have been doing before, at least they was doing something productive. Once they got free from Egypt, you'll see how they act. They wish they was still back in Egypt. So. But that's how people is. Literally, that's how people is. Bro, when I got on my journey, as far as moving to Vegas and, getting on my road to riches, because that's what I'm on, it was times when I'm like, man, I could have just stayed back home in Gary. And I wouldn't even have to worry about half the things that I went through. Because I've been going through life. And there's obstacles in life. So I've been... This was early in my journey when things that I thought were bad things were happening. I'd be like, man, I could have just stayed home. I didn't even have to go through none of this. So, but when I look back on it, everything happened for a reason. So now when I go through stuff, I'm like, well, I know this obstacle is really just to help me in some type of way. So. I'm about to just play this book though. Because I gotta eat. I ain't ate yet, so.
Wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making brick both yesterday and today as heretofore? Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants. And they say to us, Make brick. And behold, thy servants are beaten. But the fault is thine own people. But he said, Ye are idle, ye are idle. Therefore ye say, Let us go and do sacrifice to the Lord. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tale of bricks. And the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were in evil case, after it was said, Ye shall not diminish aught from your bricks of your daily task. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, The Lord look upon you and judge. because ye have made our savor to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us.
They
And
was mad
Moses
at
returned
Moses.
unto the Lord and said, Lord, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he hath done evil to this people, neither hast thou delivered thy people at all. Chapter 6. Then the Lord said unto Moses, Now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. And God spake unto Moses, and said unto him, I am the Lord, and I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, by the name of God Almighty, but by my name Jehovah was I not known to them. And I have also established my covenant with them, to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage wherein they were strangers. And I have also heard the groaning of the children
So
of Israel.
this is the first time he's saying his name, Jehovah. And it was right after I said he didn't even say his name. But he goes by Jehovah. Why he didn't tell that to Abraham and the other ones? Why he kept it a secret? Why he let him know his real name? See, he got hidden intentions already. They never questioned when he popped up and started talking to him. They were just following him. He wanted followers. Pharaoh's the only person questioning, saying, who is the Lord? I ain't never heard of him. Like, Moses didn't even question him. Probably because of the way he appeared, but still. You have to question. God wants you to ask him questions. He wants you to, he wants his name to be known. He want to flex and show his power. Like, so, hey, now that I know he like this, I'm about to start asking, because I ain't prayed to God, and I don't know, like, since I was a Christian. So, like, I've been getting blessed on my journey, but it's been without praying. Like, so, it's been with meditating and, like, just being positive, like, sowing positive seeds, like, and always thinking positive, like, knowing, like, I can manifest my own reality by speaking positive words, thinking positive thoughts, and living a positive lifestyle. So, I'm like, I don't need something on the outside of me, like off the Bible. Say, I'm like, I don't need that God. Like, there's plenty of other guys I can call on for something if I need it. So now I'm like, hey, I can go back to calling. I mean, I can really call on God and ask him and watch some blessings start happening.
Whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm, and with great judgments. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God. And ye shall know that I am the Lord your God, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will bring you in unto the land concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for an heritage. I am the Lord. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit, and for cruel bondage. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Go in, speak unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, that he let the children of Israel go out of his land. And Moses spake before the Lord, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel, and unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. These be the heads of their fathers' houses, the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, Hanok, and Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. These be the families of Reuben. And the sons of Simeon, Jemuel, and Jamin, and Ohad, and Jachin, and Zohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanitish woman. These are the families of Simeon. And these are the names of the sons of Levi according to their generations: Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libni and Shimei, according to their families. And the sons of Kohath, Amram, and Izhar, and Hebron, and Uziel. And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years. And the sons of Merari, Mahali and Mushai. These are the families of Levi according to their generations. And Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife, and she bare him Aaron and Moses. And the years of the life of Amram were 137 years. And the sons of Izhar, Korah, and Nepheg, and Zikri, and the sons of Uziel, Mishael,
I thought they killed all the boys. They didn't say two brothers got saved.
And Aaron
So
took
how
him
did Aaron get saved with
Elisheba,
Moses?
daughter of Amminadab, sister of Nahshon, to wife. And she bare him Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And the sons of Korah, Asir, and Elkanah, and Abiasaph. These are the families of the Korhites. And Eleazar, Aaron's son, took him one of the daughters of Putiel to wife, and she bare him Phinehas. These are the heads of the fathers of the Levites according to their families. These are that Aaron and Moses to whom the Lord said, Bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt according to their armies. These are they which spake to Pharaoh king of Egypt to bring out the children of Israel from Egypt. These are that Moses and Aaron. And it came to pass on the day when the Lord spake unto Moses in the land of Egypt, that the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I am the Lord. Speak thou unto Pharaoh king of Egypt all that I say unto thee. And Moses said before the Lord, Behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? Chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy
God
brother
wasn't
shall
making
speak unto
nobody else's
Pharaoh,
God.
that he send the children of Israel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my
Once again, he keep hardening his heart so he can show off his power. That's the only reason he's hardening Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh would have been let him go if God wasn't fucking around with him. But God wanted to show his power since Pharaoh was like, I don't know who he is. Who the Lord? So God was like, oh, you don't know who I am? Okay. I'm going to harden your heart, and then I'm going to fuck you over even more by doing that. So, hey, Pharaoh knew who he was after that.
and my wonders in the land of Egypt.
Shit, I want.
But Pharaoh
Hey,
shall not
is
hearken.
that's why Egypt stopped being like considered one of the top countries. Like Egypt was really like one of the greatest civilizations in the history of mankind. Yet when God came through and like they didn't believe in him, he like fucked over the rest of their whole shit. God damn.
You, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth mine armies and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgments. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt, and bring out the children of Israel from among them. And Moses and Aaron did as the Lord commanded them, so did they. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old, when they spake unto Pharaoh. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, When Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, Show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, Take thy rod, and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents, but Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened, he refuseth to let the people go. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out unto the water, and thou shalt stand by the river's brink, against he come. And the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thine hand. And thou shalt say unto him, The Lord God of the Hebrews hath sent me unto thee, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold,
That
hitherto
was my
thou wouldst
favorite
not
part.
hear.
Let my people go
Thus
in the
saith the Lord, In this thou shalt know that I
shit
am
was
the
all a
Lord.
fantasy shit.
Behold, I will smite with a rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which
I
are
ain't
in the
even gonna say
river,
it's fantasy.
and they shall be turned to blood.
This shit probably
And
was real. Do y'all believe like this story really truly happened? Like what's going on with Moses? Like, cause my whole thing is why can't it happen today? God ain't got no vengeance on some of these fucked up individuals. Like he don't want nobody dead, complete. He don't want nobody wiped out. He just letting it happen. Like so, I want to see him like poop, for example. I want to see God send somebody to Putin and say, stop this shit right now. And I want to see Putin actually stop it. Or, like, say, fuck yo belief. Fuck, I ain't never heard of yo God. Like, I want to see something like that today. I want to see somebody's fucking, they ain't got to use a staff, but, like, do something like spread the Red Sea. Do something like that. Just show me. I ain't got to say show me that type. I mean, because, hey, show me proof. If that happened and can happen, it may not gotta happen in my life. But let it be seen again. Like so. Did this guy lose his power? Cause why is he not doing what he used to do? Why he not moving like he used to move? Like why he not showing up, should I say? Like and that's not even saying for like some slavery, like he didn't show up for my ancestors, but like why he's not like appearing and like talking to people, like and doing miracles. Like where's the miracles on this planet? Where's the miracles? Like this is a place full of fucking hell and sin.
fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Take thy rod, and stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. And Moses and Aaron did so, as the Lord commanded. And he lifted up the rod, and smote the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Pharaoh, and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank. And the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt.
Hey, y'all about to see me evolve to the next level, like right before y'all eyes, for this simple fact, like I'm going to the next level spiritually, because I got my understanding on who God was. Like that was like one of the biggest mysteries for me, like for the longest. Now actually going back and listening to it myself, like straight through, like no distractions, no interruptions. Like I've been getting like hella epiphany. So like y'all about to see me go to the next level spiritually. You may not see it with your physical eyes, just know there's something different from this point on forward. And ain't no telling like what else I'm gonna learn. Like just going listen through the books of the Bible as well, because they all got certain things like that I had questions on. Like so, I expect to get a lot of those questions answered just by re-listening. And like I said, you always gotta reread.
The magicians of Egypt did so
Sound
with
like
their
I'm saying reread.
enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he
Shout out to
hearken
Riri.
unto them, as the Lord had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also. And all the Egyptians digged round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled after that the Lord had smitten the river. Chapter 8. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs.
People would hate my church. They probably love my church, but you know we'd be in that bitch for hours. Just hours. Just people like, man, I'm ready to go. Like, cause I be this Bible. It was. I mean, Exodus. It's only been going for 31 minutes. We've been in here for an hour and 20 minutes. Literally, like, I've been talking way more than the book has been playing. Like, so if I know if I was in church, I know that people be asleep, but I know I'm not boring. I know I have something to say. Most pastors, I would go to sleep in their face. Like I was kind of rude, but it wasn't like I was trying to. Like I will always get a good night's rest on Saturday, and then when I go to church on Sunday, like it was something in me that was like just sleep time, sleep, and I couldn't fight it. So the last church I was in, like I said, it was in a small church. It actually started in a house. So when my ex-wife had invited me to the church, I was going to sleep. And I was in the military too. Like so, like I was going to sleep in front of him, like in his face, not purposely. So I think that's why he always kind of held a grudge against me, cause like of that. But at the same time, it wasn't like I was trying to disrespect him. It was like shit. I was couldn't help it. That was ever since I was a kid. I would fall asleep in church. And it's because I wasn't trying to like I wasn't supposed to get brainwashed by it. Like my subconscious, like nope, you're not supposed to hear this right now. Like so, I was always supposed to fall asleep. Like, cause I'm the pastor, I'm the preacher. Like I ain't the one who's supposed to be in the church. I'm not supposed to be following nobody. So.
The river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. And the frogs shall come up both on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments, and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said,
How the Egyptians was able to match what God was doing? Like, so what he doing wasn't nothing brand new to them. Like, literally. Until, like, he started killing. He ain't want to, God ain't want to take it there. But he started killing the firstborn. Like, so. But overall, like, the things God was doing to show off his powers and show off who he was, it wasn't impressing the Egyptians over the things they was able to do and create themselves. Like, they was alchemists. Like, if you was here and you listen to the Alchemist book, you know what you can create with your mind. So nothing was new.
Entreat the Lord that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifice unto the Lord. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, Glory over me. When shall I entreat for thee, and for thy servants, and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain in the river only? And he said, Tomorrow. And he said, Be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto the Lord our God. And the frogs shall depart from thee, and from thy houses, and from thy servants, and from thy people, they shall remain in the river only. And Moses and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moses cried unto the Lord because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses. And the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. And when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart, and hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said. And the Lord said unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Stretch out thy rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so. For Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod, and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. Then the magicians said unto Pharaoh, This is the finger of God. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said.
Like,
and the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water. And say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever.
When you are a Christian, your only job is to serve him. No other God was like that. They didn't give a fuck if you served them. They didn't have, they had ego problems. They had other type of issues. But he was like, let my people go so they can serve me. Like, I don't need to be working for you. They need to serve me. Like, and you see, they couldn't even do that. Because they didn't see the miracles and the blessings happen for themselves. They only seen it from Moses' perspective. So they didn't. People is funny.
In that day, the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. And the Lord did so. And there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarms of flies. And Pharaoh called for Moses and for Aaron, and said, Go ye, sacrifice to your God in the land. And Moses said, It is not meet so to do. For we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God. Lo, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes, and will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness, and sacrifice to the Lord our God, as he shall command us. And Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that ye may sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away. Entreat for me. And Moses said, Behold, I go out from thee, and I will entreat the Lord that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants and from his people tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully any more in not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. And Moses went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses. And he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants and from his people. There remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go.
Pharaoh, like, I got workers 9. For one. First of all, God
then the Lord said unto Moses,
First of all, God is hardening Pharaoh's heart. Then second, like, why would I give up these slaves? They work for free. They getting work done. Well, why would I let all these people go? Like, it's a bunch of them. And first of all, they might try to go to war against me. Because that's what he was thinking in the beginning. That's why he enslaved the Israelites. Get off that door. Make louder noise. That's why he enslaved them, because it was a bunch of them. And you're like, first of all, I don't want these people to well, they already outnumber us. I don't want our enemies to go to war with us, and they take their side. So off the back, he like, man, I need to get some type of control over them. So they enslaved them, but they had already had ownership because the Israelites' ancestors had sold they sold to the Pharaoh, the prior Pharaoh. Like so, now God finally stepped in after how many years? He didn't even have to let it get this far. He didn't. But he wanted them to multiply. For of course, he didn't want just one person following him. I'm pretty sure God forgot about the Israelites over time. Like, and then Moses came and like, oh yeah, I need somebody for my mission. Like, so now it's thousands of Israelites that can come back and worship me. Literally, that's the only reason God came back and got them to worship Him, and the only reason He didn't do it from the jump is because it wasn't enough of it. So He waited until it was like enough to like give Him more power and more energy, because that's what it is. When you praise someone, you give them your energy. That's what the Egyptian gods knew. That's what the Roman gods knew. Greek mythology. That's what they all knew. Like humans are worshiping us. They are giving us their energy. Like so, that's why I don't worship nothing. Like so, can't help it. Even though I'm like into it, like learning more about God, I'm not worshiping Him because I understand who He is. Like he don't want the weak-minded around Him. He don't want you as His soldier. He needs somebody that's gonna question Him. He needs somebody that's got a mind for himself. Like I mean, he could always use a pawn. Like shit, you play chess. I can always use a pawn. Like, but to be a part of his like true like generals, like I'm pretty sure you gotta have, like be your own god. I know I'm a god, so why would I worship another god? Like I said, I'm seeing him now as like just as Zeus, just as Ra. Like yeah, I'm not a yes man. I'm still like even though I got so much highly respect for God, like I'm like now I just got more awareness. Like now I really got more respect for him. First was like I'm like man, fuck all that Christianity shit, fuck all of it, it's fake. But now I got an understanding of who he is. So through if you watch my past couple of videos about, listening to the Bible because I've been doing the same thing. Like you would hear the things that I'm saying, like you like oh shit, like it's not normal. I'm not a yes man. Like I said, I'm not a yes man. I'm gonna speak how I feel, how what comes to mind, the things I learn, I say. Like so, hopefully, somebody who's listening, like you may get something and put me onto some more information. But for me now, and like where I'm at as a 31-year-old who's been a Christian before, I ain't never been an atheist because I always knew there was something like that created us. But now, like, got a full understanding myself. I'm like, oh yeah, I know who you are. I'm like, I had an awareness at first, but now I've got I ain't gonna say a full understanding, but enough understanding to know like he got enough worshipers. He got enough people who like to praise him. He don't need me to praise him. Like, what is my one little worship and praise gonna do for him? Like, he don't need that. He don't care for that. If he got a mission, he wants somebody that like is like me. Like, shit. That's why he sent Jesus here. It wasn't too many people who was going willing to be loyal enough to sacrifice their life. It was only one person who said, "I'll do it." Like, so that's why Jesus is so revered. Like, cause he really like, first of all, was loyal to his creator, his dad, and like shit, he was stuck it out to the end. Even throughout, he knew he was gonna be betrayed. Like, Moses was a little bitch. Moses kept questioning like, Aaron, I can't talk. I stutter. Like, bro, just do it. Like, he needed Aaron. Like Aaron don't get enough respect in this story. Why Moses get all the respect? Aaron was the one who was doing all the talking. Like so. But Jesus is the top tier. Like top tier. No mistakes, no flaws. Jesus did go in that church and fuck shit up. But that's because motherfuckers was like fucking around. Like so. That ain't. I wouldn't even call that a slip up. One time I snapped in church, like that same church I was telling y'all about earlier. We had got to a bigger church, and I had just got tired of the BS, and I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I just blacked out and snapped on everybody. Walked out that motherfucker. So God is looking for people like Jesus, but I'm not willing to sacrifice myself for nobody on this motherfucking planet. Fuck that. Look how y'all turned. Look how they turned out. Jesus didn't do nothing. Nothing. Like yeah, he did. Let me take that back. Jesus came here and did what he did. Shout out to him for like being able to instant manifest like type of shit. But overall, when he died on that cross to save man from their sins, these motherfuckers are still sinning. Like not doing any better than what they was when they was in Genesis. It's the same shit. So I'm like, it was God would never probably send Jesus would never come back. What the fuck he gonna come back for? None of y'all motherfuckers is worth it. Like well, now I see the bad guys. Like mine said when they be in the movies and they want to destroy this fucking planet and start over. Or they want to evolve mankind and like wipe out shit. Cause they like these motherfuckers don't deserve to be living. Like, so I'm like, not to say like I'm a bad guy now, but like overall, I see why God wiped out motherfuckers multiple times. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did that shit again. Like, the fucking, he probably forgot about us, even though a bunch of people prayed to him and he don't give a fuck about that. He probably forgot about us, created a whole nother fucking planet where motherfuckers is doing the right shit, and like he fucking like happy about that shit. Now, like when he come back, he like, oh, I was supposed to destroy those motherfuckers. Like so, I wouldn't be surprised. Exactly, Thanos type of shit. Like, you shall know Jesus. Oh, like, fucking, he gonna come. Literally, that's what that shit is. God is fucking Thanos. He don't think half you motherfuckers should be alive. Like, y'all think, oh, he's God, almighty, loving and caring. No, he don't care a shit about nobody but himself and his mission and his what he want done. Like, that's what I learned. And nobody, no Christian or no person who read this Bible upside down can tell me different because those are like what I picked up with my conscious mind, not someone saying, "Hey, this is what that means. This is what you should think. This is what." Like, yeah, I'm not following your shit. I don't know who the fuck you is. You probably got some skeletons in your closet that you're hiding from the world, and you not truly who you say you is. So why the fuck would I take your advice or your opinion, especially if you're a quote unquote preacher? Like, well, we know how y'all get down, from the Christians to the Catholics. I ain't somebody we should be following. Like so that's why I would never fucking call myself a pastor or a preacher. Cause of that fucking stigma or that fucking phrase. Or not phrase, but what is it called? Stereotype. But it ain't really a stereotype because I've seen some shit happen myself. Like in being in fucking church. Like so for real. Once God come back, he's gonna be like Thanos. He gonna snap his finger, half you motherfuckers are gonna be gone. Y'all, they gonna think it's the rapture because they read the Bible, and they think those people gonna be going to heaven. But in case, nah, they just wiped out. Like so, the people who still alive is the people who still supposed to be there. Like, that's what that's gonna be. So I know I ain't gonna be here when that fucking happens. Like, and when I do exit, I'm gonna be going somewhere else where I get to create my own fucking game, my own world, and I'm the god of that bitch. Like, so I ain't gonna be stuck here. Fuck that shit. I know how this motherfucking story gonna go. This motherfucker gonna get wiped out just like the dinosaurs did, just like he fucking did with Noah, just like he did with Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, it only repeats itself. Like, motherfuckers want to live forever. Like, you don't know how this story goes and how it ends. Like, nothing good comes from this. Like, so.
Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus saith the Lord, God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and wilt hold them still, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be
He
a
could have
very
did that
grievous
all what
murrain.
he did
And
in those days Whether it was making the blood turn red, the frogs come, the flies and shit, locusts, killing the first son. He should have did that all in one day and just got his people out there. Cause if all of that happened at one time, ain't nobody gonna be like, oh shit, like, oh, I would have definitely seen your power, but whole time he was doing things that they could do. Like that was not nothing different. Like if you had to hit him with one shot, like I'd have been like, oh yeah, take these motherfuckers. I don't need them. Like shit, I make my own people slaves before I keep these motherfuckers. Yeah, they ass cursed. That's what I'd have been thinking. Like so, God was operating because, like I said, He wanted to flex, but at the same time, they was like, yeah, we can do those same things until He killed His son. When they come down, you killing somebody's child, then they're like, oh yeah, fuck this. It ain't no game no more. I can't kill your son because you ain't got nobody. Like that's why he can start trying to. Yeah, exactly. Chestnut checkers. When God killed Pharaoh's son, he was like, "Oh shit! Now I gotta kill Moses, like, cause I can't kill God. Like, I don't even know if God is real. Like, all I know is Moses came and did this shit. Like, what the fuck? How I know who he's saying is what he's saying? So shit, I'm like, now re-listening to this, I'm glad I did this series because this shit is fun. Like, I never thought reading the Bible would be this fun. Now, before I would read the Bible, I would read a couple pages and I'm like, all right, let me close this. Now, as I'm listening to it and I'm smoking, I never used to smoke while reading the Bible. I guess more people need to smoke and read. Like, smoke and read. Fuck it. That should be some merchandise. But I'm getting the full understanding of like how God is, what this world gonna come to. Like shit. Why the world is how it is. Because motherfuckers do not listen.
The Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children's of Israel. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. And the Lord did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt
You know what I was
died.
just thinking
But
when
the
he said
cattle
God
of the
and the
children
Lord
of
did
Israel.
that thing on tomorrow? I was literally in my head thinking, now that I know God is real, I just said God is real on my platform, which I've never did on podcasts and none of that. Like I finally had that epiphany, like, oh shit, this is a real God. And now like that I understand, like my level of understanding of God's is like it's another level above them. I'm like, since I know who you is, like you should like make something happen by tomorrow. And that video just said, and the Lord made it happen by tomorrow. Like I didn't say in particular what I wanted to happen, but I did say like I want some miracles to happen. Like since you know how to make miracles happen, I want some miracles to happen in my life. Like so while I was thinking that thought, and he said, so I'm like, okay, now like I know he's real, like for real. Like once again, I'm not gonna worship him just because you like there's plenty other coincidences like that happened before me. So once again, just like the Egyptians, like I didn't seen it happen before. But if a miracle, a real miracle happened tomorrow, I'll let you know. And then like we could go. I'm still not gonna worship nobody. That's the whole thing. If you bring a miracle, because my ancestors didn't show me enough of that. Like they gave me enough miracles. My spirit guides gave me guardian angels. They blessed me with miracles. I'm super blessed. So, with this guy, do I'll know like I can call on him more. Like instead of like just not just seeing him as a different another character like Zeus. Like so, whatever he does tomorrow, like then we'll see. Like, but I'm like literally I'm testing God now. Not in no egotistical way, but now that I said what he wanted me to say, that's what it is. He wanted me to say God is real, like, but I never was like saying their God was real. I never said the Bible God was real. I'm like, yeah, that shit ain't how it is. But now I know it's a him. He is who he say who he is. It like exactly. It's a personal relationship. It takes time. Like now I got a full understanding. Like now I got my own personal relationship with God, with Jehovah. Like now I can really like I'm telling you, something gonna happen. I already know it's gonna happen because he likes to show off. That's what he showed me through these first two books. Like God liked to show off. He liked to flex. So, hey, flex a miracle in my life. You know what I want. And I wouldn't accept nothing less than what I asked for. And he knows what I want. Like, so it ain't even no, it ain't even gonna be, if it's something less, if it ain't no miracle, I'm like, yeah, all right. It was just another one of those coincidences. Like, but I still got respect for who he is because I got my own understanding now. Like, I done been seeing how people call on him and certain shit happens. So like, I need to see if he gonna like step up to like for me. Like now, like I said, I called. I said he was real. That's what he wanted me to do. Did it, God? You are real. I believe in you. Like I said, I'm not your follower. I'm not his follower. Let's make that clear. But understand, I got respect for the man. It's that simple. And like, and you can't. And even if a Christian was to come in and say, "You're wrong for not saying you don't follow him," like I'm not you. I'm not the sheep. I'm like, what the fuck you want me to do? Like, that's just how I'm trained and wired. Not to follow nothing on the outside of me. Whether it's my answer, like, they can guide me because they know where I'm going and I'll let them know, like, this is my mission. Like, but I also, like I said, I know there's multiple other gods. My wife, no. There's hundreds of God's names that I've called on my journey. Like so for him to like now like I've always known about him, but I didn't know him. Like I didn't have like you said that personal relationship. Now I've developed a personal relationship by just taking the time to get to know who he was. Like form get my own opinion. Like just like it was with Nipsey Hussle when I went back and not just listened to his music, but actually like truly sat down and listened to his music, went back and listened to every interview, like got an understanding of who he was, like to understand, oh, I can follow your blueprint. You was who you said you was because a lot of people be lying. But you knew he wasn't lying. Like he said who he said. He was just like Jesus. That's why I'm like, I know Jesus been reincarnated a few times. He probably didn't appear how we thought he was going to appear because he couldn't. Because motherfucker, you see what happened. You still get killed, still get sacrificed. So, hey, like I said, I'm expecting a miracle, a money miracle, by tomorrow. I ain't even gonna count. Like you know what I want. And I'm expecting a money miracle. Like nothing less.
Israel died not one. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, Take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast throughout all the land of Egypt. And they took ashes of the furnace and
See,
stood
God
before
didn't even have
Pharaoh,
to fuck
and
up Egypt
Moses
like that.
sprinkled it up toward
He was
heaven,
doing
and
that
it
because,
became a
first of all,
boil
he
breaking
hardened Pharaoh's
forth
heart.
with blains upon man and upon beast. And the magicians could not
See,
stand
like
before Moses because of the
it don't
boil.
even your kids don't even have to do something for you. If you the fuck up, God is like, all right, fuck all y'all. Y'all all done. Like you see, he done cursed hella people in their people because one person was like, I'm gonna think for myself. I'm gonna stand up for myself. So he like, oh, you wanna fucking? But he don't who hardened Pharaoh's heart. Here's the catch 22. Like you did it. Like, you led your people even into Egypt. You told them to go to Egypt, so you knew that was gonna happen. So once again, he's playing chess with like certain individuals, and he outlasting these people because it's not about the way like he don't got no flesh. Like literally, he's all spirit. It's it's crazy. Now that I got my own understanding of who he is, like damn, bro. Like I was praying no wonder I wasn't getting no shit because I really didn't believe. Like, cause I never truly believed the Bible, even as a kid. Even when I was trying to get saved, like I truly didn't believe. I was just playing the role. Like I could just do it, thought what I was supposed to do. Like cause I always wanted to be the perfect child. Like I had four other siblings like in my household. So I'm the middle child. So I will always be the one who got all the good grades. Tried to get the 4.0. I already did that a few times. I was when it came to church, I was the one who got saved first. I was the one who got baptized first. Like I was the goody two shoes kid. Like so, I was doing things just to make my grandma and my Gigi love me more than my other siblings. Like, and it worked to my advantage. So that's how I was manipulating people at a young age because I knew that's what they believed in, that's what they loved. So I'm like, okay, I see what I see what game I gotta play here. So I played the game. I've always played the game like that. I told my daughter the other day, I'm like, I've been manipulating grown-ups even when I was a child because I was thinking outside of the box. I was seeing patterns within people, and I was saying like, oh, you show favoritism to the one that's not bringing you the most like headache. Like so, understand I had an older sister and an older brother who like exactly. I was playing chess at a young age, and I would never touch the fucking chessboard in my life. Like I was always playing mental chess. Like so, growing up and now I'm a positive thinking individual. I'm not manipulating a person to get like to benefit like like I did when I was a child. But I didn't know no better. I just thought like I was working it to my advantage. Hey, we living in hell, so you gotta get it how you get it. I grew up in Gary, Indiana, so shit was rough off the back. So like to grow up in my household where my Gigi was the mother, which is my great grandmother, and my grandmother was the dad. Like I had to make shit happen, work for my benefit. So it did. So and then it ended up backfiring. I got kicked out at 17, but I still like went into like a situation that was in a better situation for me. So I always was able to elevate myself because of my level of thinking, playing chess with like the whole time. Like so, I got I got what's the term? Checkmated a few times, but the game as you keep living, you get to play the game again. Like you don't ever lose and just out. Like until it's over. But like shit, I didn't. It's a few times I done got checkmated up in this mode. But now it's like I said, I'm more positive, so I don't have to play chess with people unless it's gonna come with some. Unless it's business, then of course you always gotta play chess and think of ahead of the curve. Like so, I have that ability within me. I just don't abuse it like I used to. So, but when I was a Christian, I was that type of individual. Like even I got older, I was still manipulating people to benefit what I wanted for myself. So, even though I was following the Bible, I truly wasn't following it or living it because the only time I picked it up was in church. And the only verses and books I read was the one that the preachers said read. Like so, I understand now as an adult, like, yeah, they did that for their benefit. It always benefited the church's pockets. So I had to step away from the church. Now, like I said, I got my own understanding of who he is. I'm not going to be no Christian. Like, fuck that shit. I know his followers. I know the type of followers he got. I, he got like, man, if God had an Instagram, his followers would be bad. Like, nah, I ain't gonna say bad people, but negative thinking people. Like, if we was like the God that's in the Bible, because look who are Christians. Like, they on the Shade Room, they on World Star. Those are Christians. So if God had followers, he'll probably have over 1 billion followers. Like, but at the same time, like, look how the comments be in like when he go attack somebody else. Right. When you have a kingdom with different colonies, you gotta understand. Exactly. So God understands that. So me, like, I'm not against God. I'm not here to knock him or talk down on him. I'm just letting him know, like, I know who you is now. Like now, I got my own understanding. I don't even need to do this live no more because like I got what I needed within the first book or two. Like so, but I'ma still keep going because like this is dedication. Like a book every single day, whether it's a Bible or whether it's a self help book. Like because this all self help books, but still like people actually love this type of content. And I didn't think that was gonna be the case. I mean, actually I did when I had the idea, but I didn't think I would be able to keep doing it every day. I didn't think I was gonna stick through to it like I did. Like so now I really developed the habit of like getting on live and listening to a book before I go to bed because that this is something I want to be able to think positive before I go to sleep. I don't want to be able to be on my phone on social media or like watching TV that's not benefiting my mindset. So to listen to a book, whether it's the Bible, whether it's Think and Grow Rich, like I'd rather do that any day. So this is just like forming habits for my future. Like so, and if you come in here every day and you doing the same thing, like we're both like benefiting. Even though I'm talking more than the book, like still like this is still like learning. It's still helping you grow, evolve spiritually because that's my job. Like that's what I came here to do. And it ain't, I'm not speaking from my ego, but I know what my mission is. Like just like Jesus. So, this is a blessing. Bro, seeing it through your eyes, I didn't have the balls to question it. Exactly. Like I didn't like. I was 29 before I questioned like what I believed in as my whole life up until that point. I was 29 before I first questioned it. Then I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get strike down for questioning God. Like, oh, you supposed to question it? But most people they don't want to step away from it because their friends, their family gonna look at them different, gonna look at them crazy. Yeah, I experienced that. Like when I first like left church and really left it, I was made sure everybody knew it. Like I made sure everybody knew I wasn't a Christian no more. So now today they know oh he just spiritual. It's not like he got something against church, but through my journey, like I was calling out any Christian I knew on social media or in real life. If I met a person who was like one of those Christian ministries or where they just go around and talking about the Bible to random people, like I debated a couple of them people, like off the shirt, like yeah, I know this, like I was like, I know this is fake now, like this ain't something I'm supposed to be following, like but it is real, it's not fake, but it's still something that I'm not supposed to be following. I'm supposed to know it, I'm supposed to understand it, and like use it for my ability, for my uh, benefit, but it's not for me to be a slave because for my understanding, God got slaves. His worshipers are slaves. They're slaves to giving him his energy. That's how you continue to make him more popular than Zeus, more popular than Ra, uh, Hermes, whatever any other god out there. Like he got enough believers in him to like go like go against anybody, like go against anybody's beliefs. So my whole thing is not to go against him. Like I'm not about to try to go against him. Like that's what I was at first doing was like going against what he like created. Now I gotta understand that hey, we are gonna create something for ourselves. Like, and you're gonna have people that's opposing what you got going on, but just stand firm and stand true to what you believe in. Like God been showing His true colors from the beginning. For one, he ain't tell the first few people who was His followers His real name. Like He told somebody who had the balls enough to question and like say, "Who is you?" You say you the Lord. I ain't never heard of you. That was the first time He said Jehovah is when Pharaoh said, "I ain't never heard of you." Like so, if people don't question God and what they believe in, like they'll only be a slave to like their beliefs. Like I'm not. I don't. I believe in God, but I'm not. I don't believe in what. I don't. I can't. How can I say it without disrespecting nobody? I don't. I believe in Him. That's all I'm gonna say. I gotta believe in Him, just like I believe in Jesus. But my understanding of who they is like, oh yeah, I'm just like y'all. Like literally, I'm just like them. So I be like, would it look like a God bowing to another God? Like, yeah, that sounds cockiness, but like just understanding like who I am, knowing my soul and my spirit. A lot of people don't know who they really are. I know who I really am. That's how I'm able to like say these bold statements. Say, yeah, I know your power, God, but yeah, I'm not supposed to follow you. I'm not gonna follow you. I'm not gonna worship you. I'm not gonna worship nothing, man nor woman, jewelry, nothing. I worship nothing. Like I put myself on the highest pedestal. Like, cause I'm supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to evolve mentally, spiritually, until you can evolve enough to like be on His level. You can go past this, the creator of this earth's level because there's always another level. Like there's some spiritual entity that's bigger than him that created him. And then, like I said, you got the all that which created everything, like everything. Like so, he's a god. Yes, he got hella power, hella followers too. Like, but at the same time, I'm not gonna judge him. I'm gonna just keep the book going. Keep the book going.
For the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had spoken unto Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet
See,
exaltest thou
he want the
thyself
more
against my
fame than all
people,
the other
that thou wilt
gods.
not let them
Like that's
go.
what he want more clout.
Behold, tomorrow
He got
about
more
this
clout and shit.
time
They ain't like
I will cause
he
it to
wanted it in
rain
the
a very
beginning and he
grievous
ended up
hail,
getting it.
such as hath not been in Egypt
You
since the
gotta
found.
read the Bible as this is God's story, like what He wanted to be. He wants you to know who He is, but He's also letting you know like He's kind of limited from the fact that He gets jealous, He gets angry, like He gets envious, like uh, a true God, like a creator, the creator of all, like doesn't get that, doesn't have emotions. This God has emotions. This God, if you disrespect him, he'll wipe out your whole fucking generation. Like, if you was the all creative all, not just heaven and earth, like you wouldn't be mad at what humans did, cause you know it's all a learning phase. He don't let people learn. You better be loyal off the back, or not. If you're not, like I don't want you around me. Like I'll destroy you if you touch one of mine. Like that's how he is. Like so, it's like a man. It's like me. Like shit. That's how I am. Like that's how I got the understanding. Like yeah, I'm not supposed to worship and praise you. Like I used to, but that's when I was a follower and I ain't had my own beliefs. I had beliefs that was given. Those were the basic beliefs that was gave to me. Just like anybody else who was born into a Christian or religious household, those was your basic beliefs. Those ain't the beliefs you're supposed to live with throughout your whole life. Like some people never outgrow or never evolve out of what they've been learning or been reading their whole life. Some people read the whole Bible multiple times, but why do they keep reading it? If you learned everything you need to learn out of that book, why you never evolve and read something other than that? Why you never read another book? Huh? The Bible says study to show yourself approved. Why? So why are you just reading one book? You're supposed to read them all to get a full understanding. Like that's really studying and showing yourself. Like that's what my goal is, to not just read this book but get an understanding on any other God or any other entity that got a following, got some beliefs, like shit. Because I can use their energy. Like he got all this energy like that's being gave to him. Like I want him to bless me with some of his energy, like to give me some of his strength and some of his power. But he never made nobody immortal. Like as far as like living forever. Yes, your spirit and your flesh live forever, but he never like vampires should be real based on like the power he should have. Like his power is great. He's able to kill. He's able to destroy. Like he's able to cause famines. He's able to like do whatever the fuck he want on Earth. But like he can't make me immortal. Like he can't make me live forever. Like if you got that power, I want that. I want the person who can do that. But then again, I don't want to live forever because like what the fuck I want to do that on this planet for? Like so, hey, I'm different.
Thereof even until now. Send therefore now, and gather thy cattle, and all that thou hast in the field. For upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die. He that feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses. And he that regarded not the word of the Lord left his servants and his cattle in the field. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt.
He probably
So
was like, "Hey Zeus, I need your power for a minute. Hey, do this for me right quick." He probably was getting favors from the other gods to make shit happen, because there's different gods over thunder and lightning and over the farm. Like, just there's different gods for every single thing out there. For love, like wisdom, like fucking beauty. Like, it's God for everything. Like, so he was probably like, "Hey, I need just basically borrowing favor. Like, hey, can you do this for me? Make this happen." Like, he was doing things for them on the side. I don't know.
hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. And
boy.
the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt all that was in the field, both man and beast. And the hail smote every herb of the field, and brake every tree of the field. Only in the land of Goshen,
But I smoked
where the
already.
children of Israel were, was there no hail.
Back up again. Yeah,
And
no.
Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron, and said unto them, I have sinned this time. The Lord is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Entreat the Lord, for it is enough, that there be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. And Moses said unto him, As soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto the Lord, and the thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know how that the earth
So Pharaoh
is the
was
Lord.
willing to give up the Hebrew Israelites, but how did he end up? For sure, shout out to my boy, always coming through. I know he that's my Reggie brother. He be smoking Reggie on the low. He don't want to tell nobody, but it's cool. It's cool.
But as for thee and thy servants, I know that ye will not yet fear the Lord God. And the flax and the barley was smitten, for the barley was in the ear, and the flax was bald. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. And Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh, and spread abroad his hands unto the Lord, and the thunders and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more, and hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened. As soon as
he stopped that
Neither
shit,
would he
like,
let
fuck
the children
that
of
shit.
Israel
Change
go,
my
as the Lord had spoken by Moses.
My God ain't know he was gonna do that shit.
Chapter 10. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, that I might show these my signs before him.
Back again.
And that thou mayest tell
myself.
in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son what
But I'm gonna
things
be
I
honest,
have wrought
the
in
way
Egypt.
what God been
And
doing
my
this whole
side
time, make harder in Pharaoh's heart. He been doing that on purpose. Yet he been making the Israelites work harder. Like, he been putting them more through hell by just making Pharaoh be that way. Pharaoh was willing to let them people go, but God was like, "Nope, I'ma hard this nigga hard again." And fuck with him, smoke. Until he killed his son. I realized God a real gangster, because Pharaoh should have knew who he was. Like, once he had that disrespect and said, like, I ain't never heard of you. Like, see, me, I ain't never disrespecting him and say I ain't never heard of God. I always knew who he was. I just didn't know. But Pharaoh was like, I ain't never heard of you. So God was like, all right, I'm going to show you my strength and my power, and I'm going to harden your heart, and then I'm going to kill your son, and I'm going to take my people. So God a G for that. I guess that's what the G stand for, gangster.
which I have done among them, that ye may know how that I am the Lord. And Moses and Aaron came in unto Pharaoh, and said unto him, Thus saith the
I think
Lord
this
God
one
of the
God made his
Hebrews,
name
how
his
long wilt thou
I
refuse
think
to humble thy...
because everybody know the story of Moses. I think this is when God like made himself known. Like this is when like everybody knew who he was when he fucked up Egypt because Egypt was thriving. Now when you go to Egypt, look at it. It's not thriving no more. Like because God really fucked them over because like it was his whole purpose to show, hey, nah, you're not the greatest civilization no more. I'm gonna create my own greatest civilization and look what he did. Like I was a Egyptian back then. Like I would have been I was a pharaoh in my past life. I just didn't have no dealings with him back then. Like he came later on. Like so, for my whole understanding, like when I was born into this life, I had no choice but to like know who he was because my Gigi introduced me to him. Like so, shout out to my Gigi for doing that. Like letting me know who was the ruler of this motherfucking planet now. Like, but when I was here in Egypt, like it wasn't like it was. We had multiple gods. Like we didn't give a fuck about just one personal one. Like they always had their own powers and their own gifts. So he made himself known when he like did what he did to Egypt, and I think it wasn't even nothing personal. Egypt was just the most biggest country. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back and like fucked over America like that. Like saying, "Oh, you think you the greatest civilization? Nah, I am." But America is full of Christians, so I guess he run America too. So, but what is the beliefs of fucking Russia? What they believe in? Do they believe in Jesus? I doubt it. So anybody who don't probably have the beliefs of like this guy, he like, hey, I got an army and we fucking shit up. Like so, I ain't got no choice but to respect him. But I'm not gonna like bow down and say, no, you're my master. Nah, he not my master. I know who he is. I'm right now. I'm just a human, but when I die, I'll be like, I know where to find him. Like, I know who he is. Like so, but as a human, I'm limited by flesh. My spirit, like I said, y'all don't know who I am spiritually. Literally, if you found out who I was spiritually, you like, oh shit, this dude fucking dangerous. Like, but we ain't like we not on that. We on a positive mindset mission. Like and me, like I said, now I finally got my understanding of who he is. Like at first I was just a blind follower, and now I was like, hey, I left, came back, and was able to be open minded enough to not say like fuck the Bible overall. And, like some people when they wake up, they like, oh that shit fake. I ain't reading that shit again. Me, I was always willing to like say, let me go read it again because I got a Gigi, a great grandma who passed away. So her spirit always telling me to read the Bible. So doing this right now, like I'm doing overboard. At first, I just open up a page and like random page and read it. Now I've been 2 books back to back, so I know I'm making her proud. Even though some of the thoughts that I'm thinking and saying, like she probably wouldn't agree with it, but at the same time, she know my heart is pure, my intentions are pure. I'm not doing nothing to lead nobody wrong. There are people who God created that's meant to worship Him. I'm just not one of them people. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. Like I'm not even an Egyptian. I was here before that. Like so, literally, I know who I am. I'm a god myself. There's some gods in here. There's some goddesses in here. You just haven't woke up to that information. You just haven't woke up to that fact yet. But God got His followers, like so, and them people know who they is. Like they call themselves the chosen ones. I don't like. I know people would consider me one of those, but I'm more than the chosen one. Like I'm the one who choose people. Like so, there's levels to it. Most people just on they level and they think that's the highest level. But nah, I already know it's a level that's higher than mine. And when that's higher than that, you just keep going. So till I get to that highest level, I'ma just keep being me and doing what I came here to do.
Before me. Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locusts into thy coast, And they shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth. And they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth unto you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field. And they shall fill thy houses, and the houses of all thy servants, and the houses of all the Egyptians, which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' fathers have seen, since the day that they were upon the earth unto this day. And he turned himself and went out from Pharaoh. And Pharaoh's servants said unto him, How long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve the Lord their God. Knowest thou not yet that Egypt is destroyed? And Moses and Aaron were brought again unto Pharaoh, and he said unto them, Go, serve the Lord your God. But who are they that shall go? And Moses said, We will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds we will go, for we must hold a feast unto the Lord. And he said unto them, Let the Lord be so with you as I will let you go, and your little ones, look to it, for evil is before you. Not so. Go now ye that are men, and serve the Lord, for that ye did desire. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Egypt, and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail hath left. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt, and rested in all the coasts of Egypt. Very grievous were they. Before them there was no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left, and there remained not any green thing in the trees, or in the herbs of the field, through all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron in haste, and he said, I have sinned against the Lord your God, and against you. Now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once, and entreat the Lord your God, that he may take away from me this death only. And he went out from Pharaoh, and entreated the Lord. And the Lord turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts, and cast them into the Red Sea.
They got
There
gods of
remained
wind,
not one locust
clouds,
in all the coasts of Egypt.
literally a god for
But the
everything.
Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go. And the Lord said unto Moses,
They make
Stretch
it
out thine hand
like,
toward
they
heaven.
make it known why Pharaoh didn't give up the people. It was God the whole time. Let me keep fucking with him, cause he questioned my authority and who I was. And then he ended up fucking destroying Egypt. Which was one of my homes in the past. So I ain't mad at him because I ain't there today. Shit, this is what's popping now. Everything can't last forever. So, like I said, I ain't got nothing but respect for the big G, big G-O-D, Jehovah. Like I said, but I ain't about to be worshiping him. And he do not want me to follow. I ain't meant to follow no entity. I ain't meant to praise no thing that's on the outside of me. Everything is from within. I keep repeating that same message, but I want people to get that shit.
There may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And Pharaoh called unto Moses and said, Go ye, serve the Lord, only let your flocks and your herds be stayed, let your little ones also go with you. And Moses said, Thou must give us also sacrifices and burnt offerings, that we may sacrifice unto the Lord our God. Our cattle also shall go with us. There shall not an hoof be left behind, for therefore must we take to serve the Lord our God. and we know not with what we must serve the Lord until we come thither. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. And Pharaoh said unto him, Get thee from me, take heed to thyself, see my face
I
no
know
more.
Pharaoh
For in
was
that day thou
internally
seest
like,
my
what
face
the
not.
fuck is it wrong with me? Like, I tried to get rid of these motherfuckers a long time ago. Like, why do he keep fucking with me? Like, people probably had Pharaoh thinking it was his, like, reason why he was hardening his heart. But at the same time, he probably had him feel like he was bipolar and shit. Like, can't get that shit together. God the whole time. He'll play with you like that too, especially when you think you somebody, when you think you got knowledge. Like, I've been humbled a few times, probably by him. I ain't know who it was.
To die. And Moses said, Thou hast spoken well. I will see thy face again no more. Chapter 11. And the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterwards he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor and every woman of her neighbor jewels of silver and jewels of gold. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was
Exactly.
very great in the
God
land
probably
of Egypt,
hardened his
in the
heart.
sight
God
of
probably
Pharaoh's
made him
servants
attack
and in the sight of the
Ukraine.
people. And Moses said, Thus saith the Lord, About midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it any more. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the
He didn't have to
Egyptians
do
and
that.
Israel.
Like, really, God
And
didn't
all
have to do
these thy
that.
servants shall
But he
come
did.
down unto me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get thee out, and all the people that follow thee, and after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. And Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land. Chapter 12. And the
Was
Lord
that
spake
fair
unto
of God
Moses
to
and
like
Aaron in the land of
harden
Egypt,
Pharaoh's
saying,
heart? I mean, he could do whatever the
This
fuck
month
he wants.
shall be unto
Like,
you
so it
the
ain't about
beginning
being
of
fair, but
months.
like,
It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep and from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door post of the house.
You said, I think that the Greeks made other gods to show that there would be a time when people became more like. So which one you think came first? Do you think this Bible came first? Oh, you about to go. But that's a good theory. I mean, you never know which one. I know this one was like based off 6,000 years ago. Like, ain't no telling how long Greek mythology that's came from. And then, like I said, Egyptian mythology, that's 25,000 years ago. Like so, and then yep, you got that one. Like it's different ones. So I'm just interested in like learning about all of them, what they got to say, because I know when it comes with beliefs and like imagination and like shit, anything could be real. Like you can create a god for yourself. You could draw something, give it a characteristic, like bring that mug to life if you wanted to. How you think they make cartoons and like all that shit? That shit was came from their mind, an idea. They drew it out, put it to life, what it generates in itself. Mickey Mouse, for example, like that's got its own a life in its own. Like so, Shango's probably the best other than Ra. I fuck with Shango. I fuck with Shango heavy. I fuck with Obatala a lot too. Uh, it's some, bro. The amount of gods there is, I can't even. You can't even count. It's anything you need in life. There's a God for it. Whether it's sickness, health. Like if you call on that and like you really like believe in that, it'll help you. Some people just got this God. Like I'm not knocking it. Like shit, he got his followers. He created his. He started from scratch. It showed you how he started from scratch, and now you said, bro, I said that in my glitch. What when you said mention Shango, I got a I got a couple statues. I got a statue of Ra in here. Got the statue of Thoth and Hathor. Then I got Anubis. I got a few statues like of the Egyptian gods. Then I got a dog named Apollo, and then I also have my daughter named Athena. That's Egyptian gods. Like my son's middle name is Elijah. That came from like the Bible, like so. Hey, yeah, them deities is real. My deities, entities, like they are real. Fucking use that energy if you know how. Like, don't fuck with the shit if you like. If you ain't studied it, if you ain't did your research, do not try to tap into something. Like, if you don't know what you're doing. Like, there's been plenty of times when people did that shit and their life went wrong. Like, so me, I'm a fucking student to life and information, so like, I've experienced like working with Shango, like a lot of the Orishas. I experienced working with a lot of the Egyptian gods. Even this god that we were reading in the Bible, like I've worked with him. Like so, I ain't worked with the devil though, because the devil is just a fucking entity, like that's fucking created to fucking fear all of that shit. Stay, hey, same to you, Shway. Same to you. It's interesting. This is a good book. It exactly is a god of dancing, fucking love making, fucking jealousy, envy. It's a god for all of that shit. People just don't know. Oh yeah, I can't go back to sleep. Shit, I done went too far down the rabbit hole.
wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roasted with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden it all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I see.
How could this world consider killing and murdering all this stuff evil if God was like is the one who set the example for it all? Like he was doing shit on his like making people's heart hard, not letting people go on purpose. and then like kill it. And he didn't just kill Egyptians' kids. He fucking wiped out any like he wiped out millions of other people. Like so, this world is built off like murder and bad shit. But if you watch the movies and like especially movies that got gods, those gods ain't fucking nice. Like they is not cool gods. Like they is not like loving and caring. No god that I fucking like read about or came across was loving and caring. Even the goddess of love, Aphrodite, she still be on some fucking grimy ass shit. Like some lust shit. Like shit crazy. But as in man, like we look for love in life. Like that's the one thing we want. When is love? Is there such thing as love? I mean, I know I got my feelings and like all of that, but at the same time, the gods ain't showing no love. I mean, Jesus. I think that's what Jesus' mission was. It took how many years for Jesus to be born before like love was? But that's the Bible word, like the Bible word. The Egyptians, they had love, like they had partners, like so. This God, he's a single dad, like I ain't gonna say egotistical, but like he got a little anger issues, like and he don't like respect no type of women. He ain't even respect where's his mom at, like where. I always used to wonder, like, dang, like it's only God, like he ain't got nobody else. I know it gotta be lonely, like I know. I used to think I'm like I know God lonely as fuck. Like that's probably why he'll never kill the devil, cause he ain't like who else he got? Jesus. You get tired of this if it was just y'all two for eternity, wouldn't you? Like so, I always like kind of knew it was like more than what they said it was. But most people like they call me crazy for having these type of thoughts. But they have these thoughts, but they won't say nothing. They just be want to be the first person to say, "Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's wrong in the wrong." But low key, they be like, "Yes, I'm glad you said that. I thought that too. Just didn't have the guts." And now I want to be the one who looks good for calling you out. No such thing. It is not. It is not at all. Motherfucker. That was the negative thoughts motherfuckers be having. But people don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that negative mindset they got. Like, they'd rather blame that and say it's the devil. Spirits are real. Like, I talk about it all the time. Like, shit, I got spirit guides that helped me. Like, they did more. I ain't gonna lie. My spirit team did way more for me than Jesus has in my journey so far. Like, so, because I remember a lot of ass whoopings I got as a kid, and I was like praying to Jesus, like, to spare me, and that shit didn't happen. About time, baby, say something. Like, how many times you got your ass whooping from your parent, and like before you like you prayed like that didn't happen? Shit still happen, right? Just chase the sun. Hey, that's what the Egyptians like truly believed. They thought the sun was God. I think his name Aten or the sun Ra, a moon Ra. It's different. I don't want to go down that path. Like we ain't. I wish there was a book about like Egyptian mythology. It's just like Greek mythology. It's not really like I said. It's not like a book like this book. They all just got their own stories and like movies and like writings about them, but they don't have a book like this. That's what I wanted from like Greek mythology, like a book like that at the beginning. But they always said that was mythology. I wonder why. Because Christians like they say, hey, this the thing that we can believe in. Everybody else shit is fake. From now on, they shit is considered mythology. Our shit is real. You don't. There is only one God. All of that. That's why too many people don't know about Egyptian mythology. He said, "What up, G Herbo? Do I look like G Herbo to you?" Like, but still. Motherfucker threw me off. Alright, I know I'm gonna say something. Remember, I'm gonna say
The
something.
land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial. And ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation. And in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger
Man, like,
or
why you got
born
these type
in the
of rules
land.
and stuff?
Ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your
Once again, he wanted to
habitations
show you,
shall
like, his
ye eat
people's loyalty. He don't want no
unleavened bread.
unloyal people around
Then
him.
Moses called for
You
all the
can't do the
elders
shit
of
he asking
Israel
for.
and
He
said
don't need
unto
you
them,
around.
Draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop, and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the 2 side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you. And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. And it shall come to pass, when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you, according as he hath promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, What mean ye by this service? That ye shall say, It is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the
A lot of
children of
Hebrew
Israel and
Israelites
Egypt.
still don't be like, yeah, God saved us from Egypt. I don't ever hear them talk about that no more. Like, if that's what got you out of bondage and slavery, or like shit, y'all went back in. How the fuck the Hebrew Israelites is black, right? How God deliver y'all from slavery, but thousands some years later you find yourself back into that shit? Like, who sold, like somebody said earlier, somebody had to sell their soul. Like, they was, what was that yesterday? How did black people get tricked into slavery? It's like they got tricked into it the first time. Like, motherfuckers seen they had potential, didn't want to go to war with them because they was getting big, decided to trick them and capture them and enslave them. So guess what? They would never turn on them. Like, it's the same thing Pharaoh did to the Israelites. He made them motherfuckers slaves because it was a bunch of their ass. So they wouldn't fucking go to war against him. So white people like, hey, let's slave these black people so they won't potentially conquer us like the Moors did. We don't want that shit to happen again. Once again, black people the one who started that slavery shit when the fucking Moors went to Spain and shit and conquered they shit. Taught them all the black comedic ancient secrets and shit. That's crazy. You'll learn some shit if you like get on like just thirst for knowledge.
And the people bowed the head and worshipped. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne, unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle.
What if
And
Pharaoh didn't have no
rose up
kid?
in the night, he and all his servants
What if he was
and
the
all the
firstborn?
Egyptians, And there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both
Get your
ye and the
ass out
children
of
of
here.
Israel, and go, serve the Lord as ye have said. Also take your flocks and your herds as ye have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people, that they
Exactly.
might send them out of the land in haste,
It
for
was
they
crazy
said,
back then.
We be all dead men.
I'm on my
And the
shrub.
people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading
Hey,
troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their
got your weed
shoulders.
light up.
And the
You got
children
your.
of Israel did according to
I
the
need to
word
get
of
some more
Moses.
shrooms.
And they borrowed of the Egyptians
My
jewels of
shroom
silver, and
buzz
jewels of gold,
accidentally
and
called
raiment.
me. I should have been
And the
like, I
Lord
called
gave the
him back
people
and was like, hey,
favor in
I
the
need
sight
some
of the
more.
Egyptians, so that they lent
Ain't
unto
no
them
telling.
such things as they required.
Ain't no telling what type of thoughts I would think if I was on shroom while listening to the Bible. Like y'all think my thoughts is outrageous now. Like if I was on shrooms, I'd be thinking on a whole new level. Like that's psychedelics to do it to you.
And they spoiled the Egyptians. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men beside children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they brought forth out of Egypt,
I
for
barely
it was
eat.
not leavened,
Hey,
because they were thrust out of Egypt,
long as you
and
got
could
some,
not
that's all that
tarry,
matters.
neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day it came to pass, that all the hosts of the Lord went.
Wait, so they was in Egypt for 430 years, basically under slavery, and then once again they find themselves in slavery for another. So is it technically 430 years instead of 400 years that black people are supposed to be enslaved? I don't know, cause I know I think it was like a couple years ago, and they were like, "Oh, it's been 400 years since slavery." But what if black people supposed to be in slavery? Not all, but certain black people supposed to be in slavery for 430 years. So that means they're still mentally enslaved, but this just not with chains and fucking whips. Like, is you a slave to a job? You a slave to TV, television, to food? Like, motherfuckers are still slaves. So maybe motherfuckers still got 30 years left of fucking mental slavery before everybody wake up and free.
Out from the land of Egypt. It is a night to be much observed unto the Lord for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This is that night of the Lord to be
If you
observed
ain't hit
of
that
all the
like button
children
yet,
of
make sure
Israel
you do
in their
me a favor and press
generations.
that button.
And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, This is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall be no stranger
Appreciate that
eat
like
thereof, but every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof.
Why is God
A
so
foreigner and a
forbid on niggas being circumcised? Like, what's the fucking. What does a man's penis being circumcised got to do with anything with God? Like, but once again, he wants to see if niggas was loyal. Like, and to this day, like, there's most males born in the hospital, like, get circumcised. Like, so it made it from, like, just him telling Abraham, hey, everybody in, need to be circumcised to, like, that shit being worldwide. Like, so maybe we all seeds of Abraham, at least those that circumcised.
hired servant shall not eat thereof. In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth aught of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall ye break a bone thereof. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to the Lord,
Hey,
let all his men.
YouTube is gonna in the future. They're gonna add where multiple people can get on live together. Like so, once that happens, I'll be able to have multiple people on my live while we listen to different books. So, hey, if you got some opinions on like what you just mentioned, like I'm always open to talk about like shit, what you think and what's your opinion on a certain subject because I'm always willing to learn. So. But white people did have guns first though, like and like black people living in deserts and stuff, like they wasn't as hydrated as they need to be. Like so that does mess I mean, being hydrated means a lot as far as like I mean, I don't know. What you speaking of, I'm gonna need you to be more direct. Like they was able to go to the mountains. Like what did they gain over black people that made them get guns? Like, was there, or they could have been making guns out of like the mountains, like type of materials and stuff. Like, so black people being in Egypt, but Egypt has more minerals than any other continent. Like, so they wasn't, I guess they wasn't just focused on making like, guns. They wasn't focused on war like that. It wasn't war minded like that. They was calling black people savages, but people back then, those were the real savages. Still some around here today. I ain't gonna say they all white people. There's some black savages and some white savages, Chinese, Mexican, and some savages in every culture, whatever you want to call it. So,
To be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Thus did all the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And it came to pass the selfsame day, that the Lord did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their armies. Chapter 13. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. It is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day came ye out in the month Abib. And it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month.
why is they always promise milk and honey? Like, what's so cool about milk and honey? I'm lactose intolerant. Like, I don't want no fucking milk and honey. I'll take the honey, but I don't want no milk. Like, what is so fucking not to be fucking disrespectful to what he was saying, but like he was giving them like false dreams because they never made it to the destination. Yeah, they got out of Egypt, but they never made it to the promised land. Like so, was they better off staying in Egypt? Because that's what how they was feeling. Like yeah, even though they was delivering from that place, he only wanted to deliver. I said deliver. He only wanted to deliver the Hebrew Israelites to worship him. That's why he was telling Moses, hey, go tell Pharaoh and let my people go so they can worship me. That was the only reason he wanted them to be fucking freed, so he can have some people to like praise him. Actually, like that's a good idea. So God is very he does things like I mean we all have motives. We all have our own agenda, and it ain't our business to let the world know what it is. So you definitely can join on when they let that feature happen, right? But it ain't here yet. So, but that was something I had seen like was going to be happening in the future when I think it said like up to 4 people may be able to get on live or something, or maybe just 2. I'm not for sure, but that'll be able to like spread, like give people more followers as well. Like just hopping on with a random person and they got something to say. Like, hey, networking too.
7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the 7th day shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days. And there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. And thou shalt show thy son in that day,
Pretty
saying,
sure he said that
This
already.
is done because of that which the Lord did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt.
Exactly.
And it
This is
shall
how I
be
stay
for
on
a
social
sign
media.
unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Lord's law may be in thine.
If I wasn't doing this live right now, I'd be on my phone on social media, wasting time, wasting energy, because that is not, it wasn't paying me at all. Like, I wasn't learning nothing from being on social media. Like, there's a lot of negativity on social media, so doing this for like hours out of my day, like this live almost 3 hours. So that's 3 hours I've saved to like actually putting into being productive in my life compared to like just being on social media right now. So if you on here and like you not like hopping off and going to my Facebook, I almost said MySpace, but going to Facebook, Instagram, and you just been here the whole time, like I salute to you because like a lot of people are addicted to Facebook. They're addicted to Instagram, and they don't even know it. Like me, I realized I was kind of addicted when I would click off Facebook, and right back instantly get back on it. Like not even like thinking like, oh shit, I just got off here. Why am I getting back on? But I did that like I caught myself one time doing that 3 times in a row, like habitually like clicking back on Facebook like it was like automatic. Like so I'm like, what the fuck? I need to get off this shit. So now I try to spend more time on YouTube, like creating more content, and rather than just watching people or just getting on social media. So it's been working out for 2022. So I'm gonna just try to keep this going for like from now and forward in my life, because this is way more productive than like wasting time on social media. But this book Exodus, like that was the this is part one, of course. So tomorrow's gonna be part two, and this may be one of those 3-part books. I don't know. I'll be talking a lot during the Bible rather than some other books, but like I said, I got a lot to say, like when it comes to like this book, because this was a book I was raised on, and as a child, I had a lot of questions that never got answered. So now I'm seemingly like the questions I had as a child, like a lot of those questions are being answered as I re-listen to it. So right, like programming, definitely. So me, like trying to stay away from being programmed. Like, now, like I said, I got an understanding of who God is. Now I need to get that understanding of like who Jesus is. So I mean, somebody was like, "Hey, I forgot what book they said read, or they want me to listen to." I'm like, "Hey, you gotta get this shit is going in order." Like so, I wanted to be able to have a whole collection, like a whole playlist. So whether people think it's just like they gonna be listening to the Bible, and they don't know it's gonna be me who pop up on this motherfucking talker and saying what I'm saying. Like, but a lot of people probably gonna hate it, but a lot of people gonna love it. So all I know is I'm doing my mission. I came here. I'm doing what I came here to do. And now I got my own. If they make it from Genesis, all my videos that I did on Genesis to Exodus, then they'll hear me say I believe in God. I know He's real. Then they're like, okay, He's not such a jackass. Like so, but who gives a fuck what they think? Honestly, like once again, I'm living and I'm doing my purpose, so I don't give a fuck what a religious, hypocritical, judgmental motherfucker got to say. Especially when they not even living in their purpose. Especially when they don't even know who they're serving. Like they don't. People think they know God. They don't. They have no clue. Like, and it's right there in the book to tell you, like, he's not to be. He's not loving, caring like you think. Why you think he sacrificed his only son? He don't give a fuck. Like he'll sacrifice your ass quick. For the greater good, he will sacrifice you. No matter how much he loves you or you think he loves you, you can easily get sacrificed. That's why people don't get sacrificed, because they don't even measure up to Jesus. Like, you have to get sacrificed in order for your message to get broadcasted throughout the world. That's why Nipsey died. Like, he died and his message was broadcasted throughout the world. Like, from now on, 1,000 years later, I'm pretty sure you'll still remember what he did. Like, you probably won't remember, or it'll be talked about. Like, because people don't remember Jesus. They don't know Jesus. They just got the story. So I'm pretty sure his story will last forever. Like, so, and that's what I'm working towards with myself. Like, making sure my story can last forever. 1,000 years later, they still talking about what I accomplished in my life. Most people don't think like that. Damn sure, like 90% of the people ain't worrying about what their legacy gonna be 1,000 years from now. But me, I care about those type of things. Like, so, what I'm doing is not normal. It's like, it's not gonna be like average, and people not gonna expect this shit. You think he's gonna kill him? Nipsey on ego? No, I think we all die when we're supposed to die. Like, so, what he did before his death, that was just what he was like programmed to do. Like, be whatever he said. Like, he was programmed to be that way. Whether it was like being his ego or what. Like, that's just who he was. Like, when it's your time to go, you can't escape it. Literally, that dude came there with a mindset, and like, I think it's go ways deeper than like what happened that day. So. No, I mean, you can't never say you make the wrong decision because you don't truly know what was said. We wasn't there. We don't know the conversation. So, whether he called him a snitch or not, I don't know. And like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. He didn't say it out of like super malicious. Like, it was probably on some. Hey, I heard something about you. Like, what's up with that? Like, you don't want certain type of energy around you. He probably felt old boy's energy off the back and was like, "Nah, I don't want to be around you." Like, so back up. So he was right, obviously. So it wasn't. Did he make the wrong decision? He like, nah, he felt that dude energy when he pulled up. Like, so you can't avoid when you're a positive person and a negative entity or like person come to you. Like, me, it happened to me the other day where something like that could have happened because, well, it was like a couple months ago, but while I'm walking my dog, a couple came up on me loud because one of my dogs had pissed on their porch, like, and which was not on a leash, and like, hey, came up talking about, I seen my dog piss on their stuff, and like I ain't like, when they first came up to me loud and how they was, I was reacting how they reacted. Like, literally, I reacted how they reacted. And then I called myself. I'm like, wait, I gotta remember who I am. Why am I tripping with these people? They don't know who the fuck I am. They don't even know who they is. So I calmed myself down, and I was able to calm the situation down. But it happened again with the same people, and they came knocking on my door. Like, so both times could have went wrong, could have went left. Like, so when negative energy come around, you can't help but to like react in a certain way. Like, and when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. I believe the Creator loves all people. It doesn't matter who you are, people, spiritual realm, every dimension that we can go to. Exactly, like the Creator loves all. It's not like you got any malicious ill towards anybody or anything. It's love. Like, that's what it is. Probably, it's fucking energy. I know that. And like you said, dimension, you can go anywhere. Yeah, like me, I know. I'm not stuck on the 3D like a lot of people. A lot of people get stuck on Earth. This is the 3D realm. There's a 4D realm, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D. But that's what it goes up to, what they talk about. But I'm pretty sure, like, it's more than that. Like, so 9D's is dimensions. So me, I understand like my spiritual level of awareness is ninth dimensional. If you never heard nobody say anything other than 3D, 4D, then that's showing you their level of spirituality. They never say nothing more than that. They're not showing like, okay, they know more than 3D. They know more than Earth. But when you say mention 9D, ninth dimension, people are like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's not even something that I need to talk about because it's going to already go over your head. Like, so if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. But that was you have it right there. And I regret my Oh yeah, like we all got stuff we regret. Like this is Earth. You gotta go. It's karma. Like the things you regret is probably like things in your past life that you had to like. It caused it. So it's all cause and effect. So the things I regret in my life, like it was supposed to happen that way. Like because I would have never became this person who I am today. Like, if anything went different, if everything went to supposedly right, like how everybody wanted to go, your life wouldn't be where it is. And most people's like, well, of course, I want it to be way better. It's not. Like, but my life, like, I'm happy where I am. Like, I don't want to rush my journey. I don't want to rush nothing. Like, I'd rather be slow and take the right move than like get there quick and then realize I'm at the wrong place. Like so, it's all about like your journey and like what you came here to do. Like, what's your mission? Like, figure out what your mission is on this planet. Figure out who you are. Learn who you are. Study your history, and like fucking just capitalize. Figure out like you gonna uncover some gifts, right? We all got gifts. Most people don't realize this, but they think psychics is like one in a million. Like, no, psychics ain't even no gift. That's not even a gift. That's just a name for somebody who got gifts. Like, so there's clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant. It's a bunch of fucking gifts, right? So as you on your spiritual journey and you can just continue to evolve, you're gonna start unlocking different gifts. Like, so I done unlock some shit in my life. If I was to tell you, like, nigga, you lying. But if you watch my any of my past live streams, you'll see things happen or you'll hear things that I say, and you like, oh shit, he he got some gifts. Like, it's something about him. He not normal. Like, so I know I'm not normal. That's why I shy away from like being in the spotlight because I'm like, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be crucified like Jesus. I don't want them to try to take me up. But once again, fuck that. You're supposed to live to die. You're not supposed to live to try to stay here. The fuck you want to live a long life for? But you gonna see everything by the age of 40. Like I heard that just recently. You gonna see everything good and bad by the age of 40. Nothing new will happen in your life past that. So me having that understanding, like shit, I'm 31. Not saying I want to die at 40, but at the same time, I want to be able to accomplish everything on my goal is by 40. By the time I'm 40, I want to be able to relax and like chill. Not, I ain't gotta really work today, but still, I want to be able to relax and go wherever the fuck I want to go. Stay however long I want to stay. Not have to teach nobody. Not have to worry about people calling me like needing advice. I want everybody around me to be evolved on another level so they don't need me. I don't want to like I want to do what I came here to do and like get the fuck on. Like some people want to live forever. I'm not one of them people. Like so. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We're gonna come back with Exodus tomorrow. Uh, I'm definitely grateful myself. Like even though I don't know why you said mentioned you was grateful, but I'm just grateful for where I'm at in life, like, and just being able to understand, like, hey, it's always another level. Like, no matter how wise I think I am, like, there's always somebody wiser. There's always another level for me to go. Like, so I'm grateful for just being on the journey of, like, on the right path because for the longest, I was headed down the wrong path and I didn't know. Like, so once I realized I was going backwards instead of forward, I tried to catch up. Like I was like basically, I brainwashed myself by doing nothing but for 30 days straight, listening to nothing positive audiobooks like Think and Grow Rich, videos like Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret. I watched that 30 days straight, which is only a 30-minute video on YouTube. Like cut off music. I wasn't listening to rap, R&B, nothing but positive stuff when I was in my car. It was like something on the audio book that was positive, like talking about positive mindset. Like so for 30 days straight, I did nothing but that, like meditating every single day. Like so I brainwashed myself and like it was like I kind of like push myself way far ahead of than where I needed to be. Like so I'm ahead of my time. I feel like. The thing is, I know how like to pass. Yeah, I know how it likes Passover too. That's why I want to read the Book of Enoch so bad. So we'll probably. I just heard a notification. Like, so we're gonna listen to the Book of Enoch after Exodus. So that's the story that I want to tap into, and that's not even in the Bible. They took that out. It's a bunch of books they took out of the Bible. That was one of my biggest like issues when I was a Christian and I didn't know it. Like that was like my thing to get out, like my leeway to get out. I'm like, they don't have everything in it that's supposed to be in it. It's so many missing Bibles. So how do I know they didn't manipulate this what I'm reading? So that was my thing, not wanting to be manipulated by a book or what somebody said, hey, this is your beliefs. I'm like, man, my ancestors who were slaves, they they was reading this book and they couldn't read. They had a pastor who was no, they had slave owners who was telling the pastors what to read. Like not what to read, but he was telling the pastor what to preach. And he was preaching the word, so they didn't even get to they was basically they was blindly led into a religion. You know, the product of the exactly. So I done read a bunch of books. The life of stuff must made you. It did. Like, I mean, in the experience, like so. Yeah, but a lot of it was mental. Like it was all mental. I was just at first I was scared to ask those questions, but once I start asking questions out loud about like who is God, like or what is my not even just who is God, but what is my purpose? Why am I here? Like then like shit just started magic. I ain't gonna say magically happening, but it felt like it was magically happening. Like the way my life has been set up, it's been things that I know I shouldn't. You shouldn't have seen me like today. Like over like some of the choices I've made in life, some of the risks I've took in life. Like I know I'm here for a reason. Like so, for me to take that for advantage, like I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna do this. Like I ain't gonna jeopardize my life or my family, like trying to get something, like like whether it's money or whatever it is. Like so, this is the best way. I love books. Like I said, you're a product of the books you read. I've read a bunch of books. As you can see, the books we listen to already are like the books that my life is based around. Like so, if you listen to any of those books, it'll be the most evolved person they talk about or they had mentioned that you'll become. Like I became that person, and I started with like the opposite. I started as the person who like, oh, I want to be enlightened. I want to be positive. I want to have a positive mind, and I believe it can happen. Most people don't believe they can change their mind. They don't believe they can get rich. They don't believe they can get wealthy, especially with the life they live in. They ain't never seen nobody do it, but I seen somebody do it. So I was able to have my brother who became successful and able to show me I could like reach those type of success too. Like even though like I'm not my brother, it still made me feel like I can get it myself. Like so once I started creating it, and they say once you build it, they'll come. Like it didn't happen overnight, but like I built this a minute ago, but now people are actually coming. Like so, obviously I'm doing the right thing. I just had to be consistent. I just had to stop procrastinating or wasting my ideas, wasting a lot of time on social media. Like so now, like 2022 is like I felt like was the year like I'm gonna make at least $2 million this year. So I gotta work extra hard for it. Like so, and even if I don't make that, like I'll be able to still make more than like the majority of the world. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna say the majority of the world, but I'm gonna make majority of what most people see in their whole lifetime. Like, so me having that type of mindset, like just always trying to strive for more than what I got, like, it's led me to like always going and like arriving at new opportunities, like new opportunities just popping up for me, like to just explore and like benefit from. So yeah, I advise everybody to like just wake the fuck up, like just focus on what you want in life. Like fuck what you was taught your whole life. Start from scratch. Like start looking at I ain't gonna say start looking at other religions, but just start reading more books. Start reading more books. You don't have to focus on religion. Just read books. Books to fix your mindset. So do that 30-day cleanse like I did. Like I was trying to build habits, positive thinking habits. It worked. If you can't do that, then well, you don't want to be positive thinking. You don't want to change your life. But most people that come to my life, they are already good. Like so, if I'm speaking on this right now, it's probably one person in here like that ain't woke, don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Probably here because I'm saying some crazy shit and they didn't expect that. So I'm like, alright, you might need to wake up. Bye bye.
Oh, I thought you was.
Bye bye.
I thought you was playing Roblox.
No, you ain't see me on Roblox. I be playing Roblox with my kids. She knew I wasn't on Roblox though. So I be having to catch my kid. Like I know how the world is. Like and they get so hooked on phones and tablets and TV. I'm like, man, it's hard raising kids, but you gotta do what you gotta do. What's the 30-day cleanse? Like every day, like no rap, no R&B, no TV, no radio, all positive like videos on YouTube, meditation only. Like so every day meditate. At least whether it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, just try to meditate. Try to take conscious deep breaths. Then watch this video on YouTube called Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret. Then like just keep watching those books like or those recommended videos that's popping up on the sides of that video. Like so for 30 days, all I did was start off with meditation, then cut on YouTube, watch Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret, then just watch all those videos that was recommended. And then like meditate some more around lunchtime, like go outside, play basketball, sports. And then like when I was in my car, I would have like Napoleon Hill audiobooks playing in my car. Like so I wasn't playing music at all. Like but of course you would go out and you would hear music, but for me, like I was making a conscious decision like to change my mindset and I knew like all that other shit had programmed me like music, TV, like books, like all that shit programmed you. So I wasn't reading the right books at first. I was reading more erotica, romantic uh, shit like James Patterson books as well, like Percy Jackson, Harry Potter. I was into that type of shit. Now I read more books that if it's gonna be a fantasy book, it's gonna be like the Celestine Prophecy or the Alchemist. It's gonna teach you something. It got a hidden meaning in it. It ain't even truly hidden, but it's meant for you to grow and it's meant for you to learn on your journey. So those books interested me now, and that's why I kind of started the book club. Me reading the Bible, I had no intentions to read the Bible when I started my book club. I had absolutely zero intentions to read this or listen to it. But a lot of my videos kept getting copyrighted, and I'm like, man, like, what? I know, like, all these books ain't like that, but it wasn't. It was just the books that was I could listen to was made before 1928. Like so, it's good that I've listened to a lot of books that from Napoleon Hill, like so, because he was around that time, like him, Dale Carnegie, like they books don't get me copyrighted, and of course the Bible doesn't get me copyrighted, unless it got some music in it. But still, overall, like this book, even though I'm not a Christian religious person, it got a lot of game in it. I think I learned a lot within the first book and Exodus so far. Like so, even though I had a lot of questions, those questions internally got answered. So tomorrow, like I said, I'm expecting a miracle from God. Like so, however that turn out, I'll let you know. And if like let's say, man, I believe in God, but I don't that miracle stuff. Like yeah, I'll leave that to somebody else. I will see. But this is my test. I'm giving God a test. And somebody said, who is you to test God? But at the same time, he wants you to, like, test him. I'm not doing it in a disrespectful way. Like, by all means, I know who he is. But I want to see his power. Like, I want to see, like, what he can do for me. Like, so. And this is, like, me knowing there's multiple other guys. Like, it's like, the way I am spiritually and how spirits come to me, like no matter if it's a famous person who passed away or not, I I want to know like, okay, what, why you want to come around me for one? What can you do for me? Like tax refund. I ain't got no tax refund. Like, I'm a business owner, so tax refund is not on my mind. But if a check just come in, like I'll be like, oh, I'll be happy as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie, I'll be happy. I'll let y'all know, even if it's $1,000, $100. I'll let you. Nah, if it's $100, I always, I always see stuff like that. It gotta be something big, like for real, something big, big opportunity, big miracle. Like so, if God want me to like promote Him, cause that's what this is. This is like I'm giving God a test. Like if He want me to promote Him. Like, cause I'm looking at it as a business thing right now. I'm looking at how Kanye did. You know, Kanye woke, but he went back into the church, right? Like, so he's profiting it off of Jesus and all that. So I'm not saying like I'm gonna use God, but like he uses people to get what he want out of life. So if you want to use me, like I need to get something out of this. Most Christians I know they praise God and worship God damn near every day, and is they get what the fuck is you got? You got nothing. You stressed, like you depressed. Like so me, like if I'm dealing with God, like hey, show me what we working with. Like so why you think I'm always mentioning my ancestors and my spirit guides? It's like they done did so much for me. Like I gotta tell people. Like some people gotta tell people about God. About God, I have to mention my ancestors, my spirit guides, guardian angels. It's like mentioning God. Like so, they done so much for me. Like it's like if you learn or if you tap in your ancestors, like look out for them or like build an altar for them. Like 6 people in here, right? I know at least one person you know has died that was close to you. Whether it was mom, dad, grandma, grand, whatever. You have somebody that was close to you. Like if you have a picture of that person, put it up and like listen, like put it up. Like and if they was a religious person, you could put a Bible next to their picture. Give them a glass of water and a bowl of fruit. Like and put this glass of water next to the Bible, bowl of fruit next to like this picture. If they smoke cigarettes, light a cigarette and put it in an ashtray right next to this picture. Whatever they liked, whether it was candy, put it on this altar. I promise you, within 24 hours you will see magic happen. And that's if you like do that for your ancestors. And is that wrong? Like for you to like acknowledge your ancestors, like because they spiritually still around you. That's why you feel them. That's why you think about them. That's why you smell them sometimes. Like because they still be here. Like most people just don't acknowledge them that way. So me, I figured that out. I found the secret. Like giving my ancestors praise and like not this is kind of praise like shouting them out. Like if I was a Instagram, like I'm promoting them, their brand, like so I'm letting people know about them. So I'm letting God show me His power, and then like I'm telling you, if America show up, you're gonna hear me talk way more about God. No lie, like I ain't even gonna be talking about the one. I'm gonna be saying what Christians love to hear, God. So if any miracle come from tomorrow, I'm telling you, you know, but once again, I'm not a Christian. I won't turn to be a Christian, but like I do use energy. I do fuck with the spirits. So there's plenty of other guys that I got with me, like Rob, like Anubis. Anubis is wherever I drive, wherever I go in public, Anubis is there with me. Like he's my protector. So like, I ain't gonna stop fucking with them because God got power. Like I seen they power. So that's just adding more power to me. Like it's just adding more to my belief. So like if I have a firm belief that this God is real and Jesus is real and Egyptian gods is real and all these spiritual things is real, that's just only enhancing me. Like cause no Christian to be able to attack somebody and say I believe in God, like and I believe in Jesus. How you going to attack me when I believe in what you believe in? Like except I truly believe, like I know them. Like I built my own personal relationship, and it wasn't because they saved me or they blessed me for something. Like, well, with God from here on out, like if He come through with a miracle, like then this is a business partnership. That's what I'm looking at it as, because I'm a God myself. Like literally, I didn't change people's lives myself. I didn't woke people up myself. Like I didn't haven't did it on His level, because I'm still like I done had to reincarnate a bunch of times. He got to stay here over thousands of years. Like, so over time, like, if you gonna count all the people's lives I changed within lifetimes, like, it's been millions of people too. So, like, I'm just trying to step back into that power. And he just got his, like, he got consistent years. So, he ain't never had to start back over. And from the Genesis, that's where he started. Like, that's his beginning. Like, so. Now, you see the beginning of Kenneth, and well, it's positive minds only, but still, you seeing my origin story. Like so, when I pass away, and like years later, people see what I created. They're like, "Damn, he really was a god. Like he really, like, it really is." People who come back and like they tapped in. Like it ain't just one god. Like so, this one, he got a lot of power. I know that. Like, but the way he be using his power be funny in the Bible. I can't even lie. Like kind of, I'm very impressed. Like it's still like 7 people in here, and like most people would have, it probably would have been around like 3. What I've been talking about, but like y'all actually sticking through 8 people. Hey, if you haven't hit that like button, I really appreciate it. If you do, it's nothing to hit that button. But Exodus, like so far, God, the way God was harder than Pharaoh's heart. It's like, bro, why you gotta do all that? You gotta come out with. I do. I gotta work on one, but procrastinating on that end. And the way I'm looking at it, I'm like, hey, people can't say I gotta start a book because I'm doing this right now. Like every day I'm on here. Like I do got time to write a book. I gotta figure out where to start from. That's where the part. Like I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go. What story y'all want me to tell? Like what story want to be told? Like I got so many stories, and I can't just fit it all in one book. Like so. And the shit I believe in, it could be a fucking fantasy, science fiction. Like, the things I'd be talking about in my book, like it wouldn't even be classified as like non-fiction. Like, so I'm like, damn, would I just want to create? Do I want to create a fucking some fantasy like? Just put all my beliefs and like just tell my story through that. Like Stan Lee probably did that shit. Like whoever created X-Men and all that. Like, so they story was just too magical. Like, man, ain't nobody gonna believe me. Like, so I gotta create something. Like, I don't know. But it's a Tuesday. Oh, is today Monday or Tuesday? I'll be getting my days. No, today's Monday. Cause 7 days and 7 days is my birthday. So I'll be turning 32 next Monday. Like so. Shout out to me for reaching that age. It's a lot of people from where I'm from don't make it to see that age. So for me to get out of that and actually become something, like I gotta nobody else pat myself on the back. I gotta pat myself on the back for that. So plus my whole goal, my real goal is like just make it past 33. Like, cause I done seen too many like great people like make it like get to 33 and then gone. Like literally, my dad passed away at the age of 33. Nipsey Hussle 33. Jesus Christ 33. Like, it's a bunch of other people. Exactly. Oh yeah. Me and Einstein got the same birthday. I don't know if you knew his birthday was March 14th, but me and Albert Einstein got the same birthday for sure. So I got his picture. Like I had it on the wall. I just have to take it down. But yeah, I got his picture. I fuck with Einstein. Einstein wasn't no white boy. That boy was tapped in on another level. That's why bruh, his spirit is still around. I'm telling you, anybody who passed away, Your favorite celebrity. If you love Nipsey Hussle, promise you, if you put his picture, like if you know he like get a marathon shirt or something, get some marathon OG, light a blunt for Nipsey, and like I'm telling you, something will happen in your life. Watch. It don't matter. It really don't matter. But once again, you gotta be evolved on another level to start trying to tap into like spiritual like stuff like Nipsey Hussle, like, cause you don't know if you're trying to call in him, somebody else come in, like, so you got to be tapped into a level to like you could know when a person really come through, like, yeah, like, so that's why like I really came across a bunch of like spirits, good and bad, like, but I'm non-judgmental when I understand it, like, so when a quote unquote bad person, like a serial killer came to like a spirit, somebody was a serial killer when they was alive and they passed away and their spirit came to me and started telling me their story, like telling me that's why they was the way they was. So it gave me an understanding. Oh, you can't just judge people, especially when you don't know their original. You don't know where they come from, why they was the way they was. Most people think, oh, people who do bad shit is just bad people, but they don't understand why they even act like that. Like, it's all programming, mental programming. So I be learning a lot from people, like what spirits, and like they learn a lot from me. Like, so when they come around me, they be needing help on the other side. Like, especially when they want to come back and reincarnate on Earth. Like, they don't want to just keep repeating the same pattern. So if they can learn why they a spirit, like they'll be. It's easier rather than when they on Earth because you got a whole lot of outside shit trying to make you think a certain way. So spirit spirits learn from me, people learn from me. Like, shit, animals learn from me, kids. Like, I'm just that spiritual. Like, I'm really that. Like, one of my spirit guys told me I was a Denzel Washington on the other side. Like, that's how like known I am on the other side. Like how famous he is in real life, Denzel Washington. Like what he's done. Like I'm like that over there. Like so, any spirit that cross over, like anybody who crosses over, their spirit wants to like come in contact with me. So I'm very picky because I know everybody don't got the good intentions. Even when you're a spirit, you still got like hidden intent, especially if you go out a certain way. Like you got hidden intentions. You want to revenge on somebody, or you want to like something like I gotta know like why you want to be around me. Like what's the point? Because I'll be having to go in and dive deep on a fucking story, like do everything to know like okay who you are, who am I dealing with? Like so, it's a lot of I'm telling you, it's a lot of spirits that's came to Jesus recently came to me. No lie, Jesus' spirit came to me and let me know like I was in under his bloodline. I was in from his bloodline. Like so, I'm like that's why my life has went down this path. Like because I'm in the same bloodline as him. Like and he was not an Israelite. Like people would call him that, but he was not. Like he was really a man on his journey. Yeah, that may sound crazy what I just said, but that's the only reason I'm tapping back into like this religion stuff. Like, cause at first I'm like, man, I ain't going back into that. And now I'm like, oh, I've been getting a whole bunch of understandings about everything as far as like Jesus, God, like how this shit started. Like, of course, this shit is tampered with fully. Like, but at the same time, if you sit and you listen, or if you read and you really pay attention, and you are open-minded, and you're able to just ask questions, like if you go and read the Bible on your own, anything that don't make sense, ask that question out loud, or ask that question, say, God, this don't make sense. Review the answer to me, like then, like, and not just do that with the Bible, but do that with yourself. When you know you act like a certain way that you don't like, or you know you like get angry quick, ask yourself, why do I do that? Or not just that, but if you a way that you know you need to change, but you slacking on the change, like you got to start asking yourself, how can I fix this? Not, oh, I guess I'm like this. I might as well stay this way forever. Like, nah. How you develop a relationship with Jesus? I did see that. I like his message. Books, and it was not even the Bible. But the last book, not the last book we read, but one of the books we listened to was The Game of Life and How to Play It. And she was just talking about like how Jesus was like able to like instantly manifest because of like his beliefs and like who, like he had no doubt in his mind, like literally. When we get to like about Jesus, like he was basically the perfect person, like as far as like consciousness. Like you want to have that Christ consciousness. So like me understanding there's a consciousness level called the Christ consciousness, like I wanna get to that level. So knowing if like he really came down here and like was operating on the highest level, never let none of this shit phase him. I'm like, why wouldn't I like look up to this dude? Like, well, why not? Like, shit, maybe I'm trying to get like that. Like most people don't try to be like Jesus. Yeah, they say, oh, Jesus saved me, but they never try to be like him. Like, try to be perfect. Try to have no doubt whatsoever. Will always walk out on faith. Know your mission. Like, walk towards that. Don't let nothing distract you. Jesus let nothing distract him at all. Like, so knowing like he was that person, I have no choice but to like give him his props. Like once again, I said I ain't gonna praise nobody, like cause I'm not gonna. That's not me. I don't. I'm me as well. I'm a god too, like shit. But I'm not one of those guys that say, "Hey, bow down to me." Like, nah. I'm just. I know who I am. I know what I do. I know my power. Like so. That's how Jesus was. Like he ain't want nobody like to worship him. God is the one who wants people to worship him. That's why he brought them out of Egypt. He said, "Free my people so they can worship me." He didn't say to like so they can evolve mentally and start their own place and like become their own greatest land. He said, "No, they want them. I want them to be free so they can worship me." Damn, that's all I'm here to do is worship a God. That ain't no life I want to live. Like, who wants to live a life in church 24/7, 7 days a week? Not me. Thought he didn't. Like, shit. God did, though. Like, God is the one who, he's the only one, the only God that I know that said worship me. Like all the like the Egyptian guys, they like yeah, the humans they already worship us. We don't need them. We don't give a fuck about them. But gods of Egypt, it was like they didn't need no human worship. This God of the Bible, he needs that power, that energy. He's begging. Well, he ain't begging, but he got to his people now. Like he already got millions of people like that believe in him. So like his goal was accomplished years ago. But you see how he planned it, how strategic he was from the beginning. He got rid of anybody who didn't believe in him, like who wasn't loyal, who wasn't faithful. He stuck with the people who would listen, would just follow. They never asked questions. Anybody who opposed him, he destroyed them. He made them feel his wrath, and he was he was making people be cold hearted himself. But he was once again flexing his power. Like so, that's how I basically formed my relationship with Jesus and God. Like just getting my own understanding of who they was, not letting a preacher or whoever tell me, "Hey, this is your beliefs and this is." Like just believe in somebody on the outside of you that's greater than you and can send you to heaven or hell. Like so, I'm like, man, that don't sound right. That never stuck with me. So me understanding that, like shit, my whole goal is to like form my own relationship with just each God there is out there. Like that can help me on my journey, but not every God, because there is some like that can lead you to destruction. That's for meant for chaos. Like so, it's a God literally for everything out there. So I tell people pick what you want to believe in. Like shit, don't just stick to what you was brought up to believe in. Like always start over. Give yourself a fresh start. You say, hey, let me start over. Who said this is the right thing? Just because my mom and dad said this is right, let me go find out for myself. Like so, some people never try to go figure it out for themselves, just like they never try to do nothing with themselves. Like they feel like, oh, it's too much work. why would I want to go focus on my goals when I got this job that's draining all my energy, taking all my time? Like, I don't want to do nothing extra. But me, that's why I said, fuck having a job. I'm just gonna do like what's best for me. Like, so, it's been working out so far, and I'm not about to go back like ever to a job unless it makes sense, unless it like something that I need to do, like I need to learn. That's the only way you'll find me in a job is like if I'm strategically trying to like learn something, trying to get something out of it. Other than that, if it's not meant for my purpose, I'm not about to work for nobody but myself. Because once you're a business owner, like it's a lot sweeter, like way sweeter. So, but it's a lot of work too. So it's not meant for just any and everybody to be a business owner. So can't ever just preach that and say everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, but everybody do need to focus on their goals and focus on what they want in life. If you're too busy focused on what somebody else want in life and building them up, then you're gonna always miss out on life. You're gonna always miss the opportunities and blessings that was sent your way that's there every single day. There's always something there for you to help you or uplift you every single day. You just gotta look and see it. You have an open mind to it. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We're about to end this live, so peace. We out.